Imaging Tuesday.
Everybody has their own little spin on it.
Right.
Walrus
well,
in Encino is in studio with us. He won the auction for the L.I.T experience thanks to Children's Hospital Los Angeles, our Make March Matter campaign. Walrus has been here all day. He also started the day with Clinton Yates. He had that experience.
TV's Clinton Yates.
Well, TV and radio's Clinton Yates.
Yeah.
How was the Clinton Yates experience?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he's like
He is a handsome man up close, is he not?
Clinton?
Yes.
And he's like the P1 of Clinton Yates. He calls into the show every day.
Oh, yeah. I've
really?
heard
The
your
Walrus.
calls many times. Yeah.
Wow.
You jump in on a lot of stuff. You see, the thing about callers is this, and this is where people screw up. People think we don't take calls. We will take calls if the callers are good.
Right.
More often than not, if you want to be a good caller, you know the best thing you could do is have an interesting nickname. You know what I mean?
Like Walrus.
Like if a guy named Steve
Or that might be your
calls-
real name because I actually know a walrus.
You
in
do?
Topanga, not in Encino.
Really?
You know someone because that is not my real name.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You know someone whose ID says Walrus.
Yes.
I want to meet this person.
Yes, he's British actually.
Really?
Yeah.
And first name or last name?
Are you setting
First
us up
name.
for a joke here?
I think it's coming.
Yes. Like the cuckoo thing.
Now, part of his experience was not only to be here for Live Imaging Tuesday all day, it was to eat pie with Cap.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. The Cappy Pie.
Oh, yeah.
And
experience.
Stephanie went downstairs
that
and got
pepperoni
us,
looks good.
got us some pie.
Yeah, I'll get a little pepperoni.
Okay, give him a slice so we can all eat
I'll
together.
just give me the box. It's fine. I don't need you to touch my pizza.
No, I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch yours.
Yeah.
I mean, you can touch mine.
It's fine.
I
did wash my hands just now.
Yeah, I assume your hands are going to. If you want to touch mine, touch mine.
No,
I don't think
want
I
to
should touch yours.
I don't want to touch yours.
After the story
Anybody
I
want
told
to
you
touch
yesterday.
mine?
No,
Or no?
I'll
no,
touch
definitely
yours.
not. Especially after that manscaping conversation.
Well, I'm gonna take care of it this week. We're supposed to all eat together at the same time.
Hey, we're getting there.
Cheers.
Yeah. Let's see which side.
Here's to the walrus and pie.
Appreciate it. Emmy Squared Pizza. Good stuff.
Yeah, downstairs here at LA Live. That's really good.
It's nice, right?
Yeah, very good.
And I'm just glad my heart can take a slice
Yeah,
of
how you
pizza
doing?
now.
You good over there?
Oh, it'll pump it right out.
Really, no problem.
No problems.
That's great.
How about you throw some napkins over there?
Yeah, you want some napkins? I'll throw you a
Here we
napkin.
got a paper towel roll.
Oh,
over
right here. There we go.
you
Oh.
go.
Now we're waiting for Deandre Ayton to possibly call, along with Jake LaGreca.
LaRavia.
When that happens, we'll bring it to you live here on your home of Lakers basketball,
Live and
710
local.
ESPN.
Do you think he will be receptive to the nickname Raging Bull?
Sure, why not? Meanwhile,
I like the idea.
also, you guys are getting ready for Fleming's tonight, another CHL experience. You're having dinner with a fan.
Armin.
Armin.
Not Katayan.
No.
Now, can I start today's show off with like an ounce of controversy?
Why don't you swallow the bite of pizza in your mouth first?
Okay. Done. Consider it done, baseball. Now, who's going to the dinner tonight with Armin down at Fleming's? Because the original donation to Children's Hospital LA was dinner with Sedano and Kap at Fleming's. And that sounds like a nice dinner. We're good guys, you know?
I mean, deep down, you don't really like each other, but that's okay.
No, but that's but on the surface,
Seems
though.
excessive.
Yeah. Now, then it turned into the whole show is going to the dinner. Okay. Now I come in today, and I think
Well, because Armin invited DeAndre and Lindsay.
correct. So now Lindsay has an issue. Okay.
I always have an issue. Let's
No.
Are
go
you
with
saying
it.
I got to fill in on another meal?
It may be that you had to fill in with Seller's Advantage, and now you got to fill in for Children's
I
Hospital.
wouldn't mind. You know?
So, Linz, what's the story tonight? Tell us the deal.
Well, I had to leave my house very early this morning because I had to be at an appointment. And so Chewy's been at home all day. I had to leave him inside because, you know, the gardeners
Just have Chris take him for a walk.
come. I could,
Right.
but he's
Whoa,
not
whoa,
here.
Whoa.
I was going to bring him in, but
Since the heart failure, I don't just walk random dogs.
Yeah.
he's
Although
not a-
Chewy's not random.
Wait, he's not a random dog.
He's
you guys
not,
did
he's
a
not.
Christmas picture
We
together.
did do a Christmas
This
picture.
is a kind of dog.
But here's
that-
the reason. We need to do a new Christmas picture because I was really fat in that picture, and I'm less fat now.
This dog and you have a very intimate relationship.
Yeah, he's hit me in the schwanz with that paw.
Right.
Listen, Chewy's friends with everybody here. He's the office dog.
Okay. So Lindsay has to go home to let Chewy out before Chewy pees all
I
over
don't
her
want
house.
peeing all over the house, you know?
Now, DeAndre, why aren't you going to the dinner? Because I feel that's coming
Tell
next.
him, tell him the story. You
He's
got a
a
legit.
legit. You know,
I had a men's league game tonight. Basketball. That's it.
Guys
you
got a ball out.
Guy's got a men's league
it's
game.
actually
Listen,
a championship game, and they're playing for all
Big
the
bank
chips.
meets little
get
bank.
out of here.
Come on, yeah.
Get out of here. Tonight's the championship game.
Yeah, he's playing for all the marbles.
Let me get
so
this straight. Let me just make sure
He's
I
not
understand
there.
this.
Can you imagine what Big Bank's going to say to him?
Well, that is true, yeah.
There's a championship game, and you might have to look your teammates in the eye and go, sorry I couldn't come to the game tonight, guys. I was at a dinner at Fleming's with Sedano and Kap, with Armin, who won the auction for the Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and they're going to look at you and go, bro, we need you. We're a team.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Well,
No, you got to play in the game.
yeah, and in his
So, Chris, you're coming.
defense, it was originally going to be
Walrus, you want to
yesterday.
go?
I'm game.
Can Walrus come?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't
You don't know
know?
the rules to that?
Yeah, I honestly don't
It's a
know.
free
'Cause
country.
This is
It's an open
this gentleman's
restaurant. Right.
experience.
Well, it is his, right? But
Yeah.
you definitely need to go now.
Yeah, but I think Stephanie's with me tonight too. So
So she
well,
needs to
that's
come
okay
as well.
because-
part of the deal then.
Hey, me and Deandre both have to bail, so you and Steph could take
There
our
you go.
places.
What about the Walrus?
Sorry,
but
Walrus.
I don't understand why I have to fill in on all these meals today.
You don't
because
have to, but
Cappy is a
You don't
dirty
have to
scumbag.
eat. You don't have to eat.
you know you want to
Well,
eat
she have
some
a nice
steak.
I'm
salad.
having
Scumbag.
some fish.
Have a
I might
nice
go
salad.
fish. What
I'm
kind
gonna
of
go
fish you
seafood.
gonna? What kind of fish you
I
gonna
don't
have?
know. I'll see what the seafood
They
menu
have a
looks
seafood tower that they're gonna.
like. I mean, I don't. Oh, they're gonna give us a seafood tower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tower.
that's what the
You didn't
menu
look at the
said.
menu?
Oh, I did
Crab
not.
legs.
Oh, you wanted to be
some
surprised?
cocktail.
Yeah. Last time
You
we
gonna go cod?
No, I'll probably go like halibut.
Oh, halibut.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
sea bass.
nice.
Yeah.
Give George the halibut, please.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go steak, Cappy?
You know, I prefer salmon.
I gotta go
myself.
steak tomorrow.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
I'm
right, you're
doing a
doing
Kate's dinner with Tommy.
Yeah.
Shouts out to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're going to make that dinner tomorrow? You don't need Morales to fill in?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Cap, last time you went to a
You're gonna teach.
steakhouse.
You're gonna teach Kate's how to do sales.
I might.
Good.
You might.
Our friends at Cadillac at Beverly Hills.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
My dad used to work at Cadillac.
No
Really?
way.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Beverly Hills?
No, it was one in Culver City,
Oh.
like across from Sony.
Yeah.
Well, because, the Walrus went to Beverly Hills High.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did.
Wow.
Who did you graduate high school with that was famous, that became famous?
Oh, man.
Because there's always a million kids that go to Beverly Hills High that become
know,
superstars.
In my graduating class, which was 2005, I think we missed that year. But, like, for example, the actor who played Fraser's son,
Oh.
Trevor.
Oh.
Shout out Trev. Nugget.
Wow.
Who?
Okay.
Yeah.
Frasier's son.
Frasier, the
the
TV
actor
show.
who played Fraser's son.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
I've
don't know
talked to see
Frasier?
why about that, because they
Never
used
seen
some Fraser's drops coming in and out of his show.
Okay.
Somebody help me out. The show Gossip Girl, who's
Yeah.
the main actress.
Yeah, that's not me.
She went
Yeah, I
there
don't know that
for
one
like
either.
a year.
Blake Lively,
No, the
Leighton Meester.
Yep, Leighton Meester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my friend's older brother.
Oh,
was in
you're
class
kind of
with him.
losing us now,
All right.
Walrus.
All right, Walrus.
Hey, I was asked a question.
He
I mean,
was
I know, I
just
know.
Yeah, you
answering.
tell him. Don't take
Yeah.
any crap,
Yeah.
Walrus.
No, it's okay. He and I have been together all day.
Oh, okay.
It is
we're
true.
good.
Yeah.
You got a beautiful beard. though.
God, that beard is so rabbinical. I love it.
I appreciate it.
Rabbinical is a great way to describe
That's a drop.
If I had
Please.
grown up in a religious family, I think I would have been a rabbi.
God, that beard is beautiful. I'm so jealous because I'm not man enough to grow a beard.
Yeah.
You know, I can grow like half a goatee.
Well, my wife hates stubble, so
why don't you just
I
go-
would probably go clean shaven.
Yeah, why don't you go
like
clean?
George. She hates the stubble, man. Hates it.
So just shave.
Then you got to do it every day.
Yeah.
Not every day,
No,
really.
he's a man.
He's
You
a
get-
hairy man. Look
he's
at that head
gotta
of
shave
hair he's
every
got.
day.
Look at that. I mean, this
Not
guy.
as hairy this guy you referenced earlier. Not that.
No, not the
yeah.
guy who was.
That's a good head of lettuce up there.
Yes, it is.
Appreciate it.
Seriously, is that you dye your hair?
No, and it's funny you brought that up. I got, I'm going past gray to whites. I have these clumps of whites going on here,
Yeah.
and I just turned 38 years old. It's
Okay.
a losing battle. Man.
Yeah. Well, no,
I
it's
wanted
just
to
so
get to
nice and
40 before
dark.
that
Well,
started.
I don't. I mean, I only have like whites here. Like I have maybe like one white hair here. To your point, like kind of like sideburn here and
Yeah.
there occasionally, but
No,
it's
I'm going
just
to get
here.
my hair colored this
Do you
week.
get them? You're getting the whites all over.
Oh, I'm
Me
getting
too
colored
now.
this week, man.
Oh, wait a
Even-
minute. You're getting colored?
Yeah.
No, let it go gray.
Cappy.
No.
Salt and pepper is in.
Yeah, look at me. I'm salt and pepper everywhere.
Cappy, it's time to
Oh,
go
really?
salt and pepper.
Just
My
has to
chest
be
is very
balanced,
salt and
you know?
pepper.
Just can't be in like one random area.
Yeah, Rachel told me the other day. She goes, "I think it's
Symmetry.
time. I think it's time to." And we almost went and bought some
Time
like
to
just for men.
Oh, she,
she wants you to
dye.
dye?
Yeah,
She
she
doesn't
was-
like the salt and
No,
pepper.
she
Just
doesn't love it.
blend it, Cappy. Make sure you don't
Yeah.
just full on diet.
Yeah,
blend
don't
it.
do it like Colin Cowherd did a couple of
Yeah,
years
or
ago.
Oh my
Mason.
God!
Where
Remember?
he went from like gray to brown.
Yes.
Oy
It was-
vey, really?
Yeah.
You gotta
When
blend
he first
it
came
in.
to Fox, I love Colin, but he's got to laugh at that.
Really?
What
All
year
right.
was that? That was like 2015, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
He's doing
yeah.
the same sports show he was doing in 2015.
Oh, stop.
There's like a special brush cap. It kind of like you kind of
Don't do it, Cap.
comb it in.
Go
No, I'm
salt
going
and
to do
pepper.
it. No, I'm going to do it.
Don't
I'm
let
gonna-
Rachel talk
No,
you into this because
I'm-
we're going to make fun of you so hard
I'm
when
going to
you
do
come in.
Walrus Jet Black. I'm doing the whole thing.
Very, very dark brown.
Yeah.
But you're like
Cat's
my
gonna
daughter.
come in
She
with
But
thinks
you can
jet
see it in
black
the light. The light will show the brown.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to come in jet black and your
Totally.
eyebrows are going to be light brown.
No, dye your eyebrows too.
Cappy, you want to come to my dinner tomorrow?
No.
Hey,
You
King.
can't be there? Yeah, because he's going
No.
to try to like jack a Cadillac.
Exactly.
Where's it at?
Yeah, in Beverly Hills.
Oh,
So
maybe.
you
Cadillac
don't
in
show up
Beverly
to
Hills.
some meals with your own partners. Now you're going to go after his partners?
Well, I will
and I'm just the fill-in meal guy.
You are,
Well,
right.
let's send Morales over there to have a meal.
Yeah.
Right, Morales needs to put on a couple of pounds. Right, Morales lost 100
Yeah, he
pounds.
lost too much.
Right.
Yeah.
Give him
Hey,
a chance to eat.
By the way, we are excited about our friends at Cadillac of Beverly Hills, a brand new partnership here on 710 ESPN, in perhaps the nicest dealership in America. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the perhaps out of it. It is
Just go for it.
absolutely the nicest dealership in America.
Who's gonna argue?
At Cadillac of Beverly Hills. Well, if you go there, it is inarguable almost. I mean, honestly, you walk in, you're going to be like, holy moly, this place looks like something out of the Matrix, for God's sake. And look, we know Cadillac, but when was the last time you've driven one? I actually rented one recently, and it drove like you were on a cloud. And it's funny because I do remember, Walrus just mentioned his dad worked at Cadillac, but my dad had a Cadillac at one point. It was the old school DeVille back in the 80s.
Love the DeVille.
Pre-seatbelts, I'd like lay down and sleep in the back. It was a little different day.
How about
in
the
80s.
bench seat in the front where you'd have grandma on one side, grandpa on the other, and you were sitting in the middle?
Right, exactly. But there were seatbelts. There were if you wanted them. So, there was that. But it drove like a dream back then. So you can imagine what they drive like now. And this new lineup of Cadillacs, they got the EVs. Listen, I'm a big EV guy. Sedans, SUVs, whatever it is, they define luxury at the top of its game. And you know what? When you get a Cadillac, you've made it. And you can find them all at Cadillac at Beverly Hills. So go in and say hello to Tony and the entire crew over there, an incredible team at Cadillac at Beverly Hills. Check out their beautiful showroom at 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. And, of course, online at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
It's the event of the summer. All-Star Friday night.
Friday, July 11th at West Covina Sportsplex.
With producer Jorge's home run, it is a fire!
The summer event we all wait for. The 7-10 softball game. The listener game. And fun and frivolity.
Press the flesh with us. The West Covina Sportsplex. All-Star Friday night made possible by Islands Restaurant. Island by your local Paradise Islands Restaurant. The Jaime and Blanca Foundation. And we can't wait to press the flesh with Jaime Harin.
Beat the heat this summer with NextGen, the official AC plumbing and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. If your AC breaks down, don't hesitate. Call NextGen now and enjoy expert installation on any new system. For a limited time, combat SoCal's air quality and reduce dust in your home with a free no-ozone air purifier included with any new AC system install. Call 833-3NEXTGen or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com to book online. CSLB number 1011173, lifetime warranty on selected items.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
USC football is more than a game. It's tradition, pride, and unforgettable Saturdays in the Coliseum. Be there for every kickoff, every touchdown, and every unforgettable moment this season. Secure your football season tickets today and lock in the best seats, exclusive fan benefits, and memories that last a lifetime. Don't miss out. We need you in the stands. Visit USCTrojans.com or call 213-740-GO-SC.
Craving that beach vibe? There's an Islands restaurant near you with all your favorites. Crafting your perfect Islands moments with classic burgers, fresh cut fries, local brews, and never-ending summer drinks. Visit your local Islands restaurant.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
3:31 on a live imaging Tuesday. Sedano Kap back together again, Jack. Producer Lindsay, producer Funchy Lover, producer D, Young D. We got the social team in the back. Walrus and Encino are LIT experience winners here. And on this day back in 2006, you know this one, Walrus? The number one R&B song, Young Jock. It's going down, sucker. Is it going down, Walrus? Makes you want to, like,
All day, every day.
I just want to go in there and just rock some stuff up. You know what I mean? Throw some stuff, break some stuff.
Where at?
In your pretend office, the hell you put me through today.
What do you mean my pretend office?
Not showing up to appointments?
It is a pretend office. It's not like a real office.
All right, should I just address
Today's
this right
also National Chocolate with Almonds Day.
Oh,
and
I
you know
love
now,
dark chocolate. for
now
me.
I'm a dark chocolate guy because of the heart stuff. I've been eating dark chocolate, the what do they call it, cacao?
Cacao, yeah.
Cacao.
Why don't you tell us about your friends at Subaru before you get into this? Because we're waiting for Deandre Ayton and Jake LaRavia.
Are we waiting for them in any particular order?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
No.
You're not familiar with
You
the
like
order?
the 90%? The dark cacao?
90s, I like
It's
it,
intense.
but it's intense.
Oh, it's intense.
I think a good, like, 72 is good.
Yeah,
72 is the right number?
Yeah.
I was thinking more like 60%.
72 is good because
60%
it
is my
If
number.
it's 60%, it's like milk chocolate, basically.
it's
For
not.
kids. For
Well,
kids.
60% is for, like, starters. Yeah.
Got it. Hey,
or finishers.
Well,
Maybe.
okay. I will just say this really quickly about Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. If your family is contemplating a road trip this summer and you guys are ready for a new car, you really ought to come to Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, visit with Omar, who his amazing team, by the way. It's not just Omar, it's the entire crew. But I have been a huge Subaru fan for a really long time. I'm driving this Outback right now. Oh my God, I love this car. Now, I've driven the Solterra, the Crosstrek, the Forester, but I love the Outback. I'm telling you right now, the fuel efficiency on this car, take it from me, is out of this world. South-south, downtown LA, out to the valley, back, down to Anaheim, down to south-south, and I still got a quarter of a tank. I'm telling you, amazing. Sporty, roomy, safe. You're going to love the brand new Subaru products at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. Right there at 1100 South Euclid in Fullerton, right off the 91 freeway. Go to oceansubaruoc.com for more information. That's oceansubaruoc.com. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, where every journey starts with, you know? Do you know what it is?
What?
Every journey starts with?
With what?
Love. Love.
Oh, okay.
Come
I don't
on,
know.
George.
I don't remember.
Or the J.
Love me, baby.
Yeah.
Every journey starts
So
with love.
they're calling in a second, so we're going to have to hold off on your whatever story with Chris issue.
My defense.
It's not your defense. I put it on your calendar 3 weeks ago and you didn't show up.
That is true.
So what's the defense?
I will.
I didn't know how to read my calendar?
No, but I do think I have
You have nothing.
a somewhat credible defense.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, you will have plenty of time to defend yourself about missing this meeting you had.
I agree.
But Deandre Ayton is joining us now, the
Oh, he
newest
is.
Laker, fresh off his press conference there.
Nice.
Deandre, thank you for joining us and welcome to town. Let me start with this. This process, from the moment you went from moving on from Portland to joining the Lakers, what was that process like, and how did you end up deciding on the Lakers?
It was really calming. Once the clock was up and that I was a free agent, we embraced all the teams that were interested, and I honestly felt that the Lakers was the best fit.
Why is that?
Team that's ready to win a championship and have the best two playmakers in the world. And I know how I am, the type of player I am, when I have those type of players, caliber players around me, and how I thrive and the type of wins and the contribution they'll get out of me.
Nice. Hey, DeAndre, have you spoken to LeBron? Have you spoken to Luka?
Not really yet, but I've definitely got a text from Luka. I know how the off season go. This is not my first rodeo. People are probably busy and training and having times with their families. But I'm just waiting. I'm just really just trying to integrate myself with the team and get to know everybody.
How do you envision, you mentioned the excitement you have to playing with those guys, but how do you envision this working with you guys on both ends of the floor, for that matter?
Really just being a student of the game and just listening really, and just, I watch a lot of film on them just playing against them, and I got to feel out the things they favor, what's their bread and butter, but, it's different when you're on their team, and I just really want to just contribute and fit in as much as I can on the things they want me to do.
Now, I know you and Doncic obviously have the tie of being in the same draft. You went 1, he went 3, and then ended up getting traded or whatnot. But you guys also have history in the playoffs against each other that didn't end so great for your particular team in one particular Game 7. But so what is it like now after being, I don't want to say rivals, it's not probably the proper word, but being competitors and now being on the same team, considering that history that you guys have against each other on the floor and from the draft?
It's truly, I'm speechless, to be honest. And, knowing that Luka is a one-time generational player, I know what type of player I am, and I just know the type of things we can do on the floor together. It would be astonishing to see. It felt like a video game, build this up together, putting us two on the same team, and, just trying my best to really think about this pick and roll, how things are going to go with this two-man.
Deandre, first of all, I want to compliment you on your suit today. I love black on black.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, I love black on black.
That.
And then throw the black tie on top of the black jacket and the black shirt. That's a very good look. I like black on black myself because then I don't have to think about anything. Everything automatically matches. What's your philosophy when it comes to the black on black?
Me, I'm an all-black type of guy. I like to stay neutral. I'm a high-spirit animal, and, me, I just like to, just be a neutral guy when I'm walking in the room. I'm already tall as hell. I'm ready, a goofball at the end of the day, but I like to keep it neutral and, just adapt to the day more than just plan the day.
I got you, man. Okay, so here's the thing. I was telling George this yesterday, that when you were playing for Phoenix, I remember all the hype around you, especially that Phoenix team that went to the finals. And if I'm being really honest, like in Portland, I just didn't get to see you play very much at all. So I guess my question really comes down to, how do we get the Deandre Ayton of that championship caliber run in Phoenix? How does that guy become this guy for the Lakers this year?
You answered your question already. I'm already here.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you one question.
No excuses.
Right. Well, let me ask you one question about just, some of that, some of the people that have covered you, I guess former teammates and coaches and whatnot have talked to media about, the talent is undeniable, but the willingness at times. There's always this caveat of, well, if he's willing to do this. How do you answer those types of critics?
Willing, I have no answer for those. When it comes to willing, I'm willing to do anything for a team. I'm willing to do as much things, but it's the goal that I control. What I control. It's the goal about winning that really slowed me down on where I'm at and why you guys haven't seen the dude that left in the finals. I go transition and, the route was different places and it wasn't winning. It was development, and that's why I'm here to win. I think I'm about to turn 27,
Fair enough.
And I just think it's time for me to be back in the talks of just winning before this thing gets hung up anytime soon.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And, this is one of those moments now where, right, you're in a different situation, after a buyout with Portland. Let me ask you this. One last thing before we let you go, because we're getting the wrap signal from the team. Are you familiar with the Bahamian legend, former Laker, two-time champion Michael Thompson? Yeah,
hey,
who's calling your games.
That is the grandfather of this whole thing. That's why we have hopes of being in the NBA, and the reason the ball bounces on that island. That man right there, he opened the gates for sure.
Dude, one last thing. When you were about 15 years old, I met you down in San Diego. Some guy called me. He goes, you got to come see this kid play basketball. I showed up at a practice, and you were practicing. I don't remember exactly what happened, though. Like, I met you. You were an angel. You were super polite. And then I was like, I wanted to watch this kid play high school basketball. And didn't you wind up transferring to Phoenix and playing high school ball there?
Yes, sir. Played at Hillcrest. Dang, you was there from I was 15 in San Diego. Yeah, that's correct.
Well, Deandre, man, thank you so much for taking the time. Welcome to town, and best of luck this season. We'll see you down the road.
Nice suit.
Really appreciate you guys for having me.
Yes, sir.
All right.
There he is, Deandre.
So, do you know who he played high school basketball with on the same high school basketball team?
Who?
Do you not know?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I'm asking.
Wait.
I mean, it wasn't like, did I? Wait, I literally asked you who.
Yeah,
wait a second.
Wait.
Like
you're
didn't.
You're gonna love this.
I know, but I think. What did you not get about who?
I thought you maybe were setting me up for. No, give me the answer, smart guy. You know who he went to high school played high school basketball with?
Yes.
Marvin Bagley Jr.
Wow.
The second
local guy.
Yes.
Local guy. He's a local guy.
So was he born here?
So I think so.
Twin Towers.
So this kid, can you imagine these two guys? A guy who was a number 1 overall pick. I don't remember Bagley. What was he? A number 2 or 3 or something like that?
He was
Right.
second in the draft.
Yeah.
Why didn't you bring that up?
Well, I was trying to, but it never really got there. And then we got the rap
Well,
song.
your question was like 6 minutes long.
No,
That
it
was
wasn't
a great
6 minutes long.
interview.
It was all right. It was okay.
Great interview.
It was
Do
all
not
right.
criticize
I
each
mean,
other.
listen, considering we had a very short amount of time, I thought we asked them all the pertinent questions.
You know what was interesting, though, about
The
one
Michael
thing he
part
said?
was great when he
The
was
Michael
just like,
part was incredible.
Yes.
And we could have gone out on such a high note, and then
Yes.
Cappy had to jam in that San Diego
why was
question.
San Diego question?
Well, because the whole thing is that I kind of watched this kid grow up a little bit, like at one period of time in his life. And this guy called me one day and he goes, "Hey, man, you got to come over here and see this kid play basketball." And I'm like, "Why?" And like, this guy's going to be a star in the NBA.
This would have been a great conversation for
Yeah.
after the interview
Yeah.
because he didn't really have much of an answer for it.
Well, you know, what was
I mean, we
interesting?
had such a high note.
The Michael Thompson was the
It
epic.
was
We
good.
needed
It was
to
good.
get
It
out
was
right
pretty
there.
good. That's pretty good.
DeAndre said, "Oh, I'm cutting this up for a promo."
That's pretty good.
Mario in the back goes, "Hey, that's a
Hey,
promo."
man, that's going to be a great promo. That's going to be a nice promo.
Punchy was talking about it in the YouTube chat.
Oh, really?
And then all of a
Punchy's
sudden,
with the mongrels?
Really?
by the way, I went into the mongrels today.
Yeah.
Wow,
No, they're probably pissed.
that was amazing.
They're pissed.
It's funny. They were joking. One of them was joking with me the other day, saying like, "We appreciate you come in and join the filth."
It was filthy in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, we ended on a high note, and then here came Cappy.
That's right. That's
After
right.
fresh
We needed
off-
to go on Michael Thompson.
Nah,
Yeah, that was where
that's
we
all
got.
right.
Sometimes you
That's
need to
all right.
put cap on Cappy.
Hey,
There you go, Walrus. Good
not
job.
bad, Walrus.
I'm starting to like this
Not
guy.
bad. Well, I don't know if you're going to like him the whole day.
It's okay.
Because I'm told that he's got beef with you.
I'm sure. Listen, stand in line, okay? All right. Thanks to Deandre Ayton for joining us there. All right. Maybe Jake LaRavia, I guess, coming up
The
soon.
great Jake LaGreca.
Oh, will you stop? Call the man by his name.
I'll
He's
give you
actually a
at
nice
least-
little player.
Yeah, I'll give you at
He's
least
a
least
nice
minute
little
on that.
player.
He's
little
barely
player.
played.
He's a nice little player.
barely
this guy.
played, that kid.
6'8". He's a nice little guy.
Yeah, he's barely played. He's had one great month. He hasn't had a lot of time to
Now,
play.
are you going to try to edit that piece and play it on your Cappy cast tomorrow?
That's why he
No,
was asking
not
that.
really.
You're ripping that off and putting it on the Cappy
Nah,
cast.
I don't think so.
It was more of like a statement, though.
Well, here's the thing.
We'll put copyright laws on you. You can't just take our stuff.
What was?
Who do you think you are, Crypto Ray? You
Oh,
can't just steal
wow.
our
Crypto Ray
content.
definitely takes all
Wow,
the content.
COT media.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting though. Imagine that. Imagine like you're 15 years old and somebody has recruited you to what's going to be a basketball powerhouse because you're the centerpiece of it all, and then it all kind of falls apart, and you transfer and you go play high school basketball in Arizona with Marvin Bagley Jr. when you're a senior in high school and he's a junior in high school. You imagine that high school basketball team to have two guys of that size and eventual, you know, what they were going to become in college and in the draft. One thing I will say about this, what he said is, you know, I'm here now, meaning like it almost sounded like what he was saying was, I went from Phoenix where we were good, and then I went to Portland where we were awful and we were rebuilding, and that's why you didn't see me play, smart guy, because nobody was watching us play. And now you're going to get the same guy that I was in Phoenix because I'm here for a championship. I kind of thought that was pretty good.
I loved it. I thought it was a great interview.
Yeah,
Let's
okay,
hear what that guy
Okay,
had to
Walrus,
say.
don't kiss their butt.
No,
They
no,
got,
Jordan's
they
half
got
was
very
great.
healthy
My half
egos.
was
Talking
garbage.
about the interviewee.
Yeah.
Thought
Yeah.
he gave a great interview.
Yeah, but they've got very healthy egos already, these two.
Do we?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it
she
now.
just said it.
Let's go with now.
Oh, I'm
Shit, I
told
don't-
Jake is here.
Yeah,
Jake
Jake's
is here.
here.
All right,
Yeah.
Jake LaRavia.
Hello.
Newest member of the Lakers joining us here now. Jake, thanks for taking the time, man. I know you're fresh off the press conference a moment ago. I'll ask you a similar question that I started with DeAndre. Just, you know, what did it boil down to in regards to your free agency that you decided on the Lakers?
For me, it was just fit. Like, what team did I see I would best fit on, and what team, you know, do I see myself as a player growing to my full potential? And obviously, you know, you don't got to say too much about the Lakers. They're a fantastic organization. They have all the opportunities and all the, you know, things that you need in order to get that done. So, and you know, the plus of, you know, having players like LeBron and Luka here is super cool. So I'm, you know, being able to play alongside them, complement them, and, you know, all that kind of led into my decision to choose here.
And Jake, what do you think? And again, without having gone deep necessarily, you know, here's your first day here, but what do you think your role on this team will eventually be?
I think I'll be like a 3-and-D type player, you know, taking on the tough matchups every night, guarding, you know, opposite team's best player, whatever, and you know, backdoor cut and getting passes from Luka, all that. Like, I see myself complimenting, you know, the best players on this team very well.
Jake, let me ask you about your time in Memphis. I know that a couple years ago, that team obviously had an insane amount of injuries, And a lot of young guys, including yourself, got opportunities to play in that stretch of time. How did that particular time help you kind of round out your game?
Yeah, it was good, especially because I wasn't getting a lot of opportunity kind of before that. So that kind of allowed me to get, those NBA minutes against, the actual rotation players on the other team and being able to grow my confidence and all that. So it helped me grow as a player and kind of learn the game even more, because that was like really the first time where I was getting those consistent rotational minutes. And I was hooping. Like, there's really no way else to put it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Taylor Jenkins, I think, obviously was a very tough spot because you guys lost everybody. I felt like he seemed to me in my time around him as somebody who was really open to just making sure guys felt comfortable in whatever roles it was they had. How would you kind of describe his style when you played for him?
Yeah, Taylor was a very good coach. He was when you talk about being hyper focused to every aspect of the game, that was him. He's very X's and O's. He knows so much about the game. He's very high IQ, and he wants to see you succeed as a player. And so when I got put in that position, he kind of just let me rock out.
Hey, Jake, real couple of quickies here for you. First of all, how old are you?
23.
Gotcha. And where are you from originally? Went to Wake Forest, right? But where are you from originally?
Indiana. Indianapolis.
Gotcha. And I was following you on Instagram, so maybe I should say congratulations. Did you recently get engaged?
Yeah. That was the first on my to-do list for this offseason.
Nice. That's a good thing to get off the checklist, I would say.
Can I hear a little bit more about this? Is this a high school sweetheart? Is this somebody you met at
Wake? Nah, so we'd actually met during my pre-draft process. I went to go work out for the Raptors, and she's actually from Toronto. So we were on the same flight out there, and we didn't talk or anything like that, but I ended up seeing her the next day around downtown. I was just walking around. She ran up to me and kind of was like, you was on my flight, whatever. And she was doing a work scavenger hunt. So I had to take a picture with her and her team. And then she had ended up seeing my name on my travel bag that I had. So she had DM'd me later that night, and the rest is history. We've been together for 3 years now, got engaged, and we'll get married here soon.
Hey.
I love that she slid into your DMs like, hey, what's up? Remember me from the flight? I love that
Right.
story.
What is your fiance's name? Let me know her name.
Tasia.
Okay, because that's a great story. She aggressively pursued you. She's kind of like the Lakers.
There you go.
Have you had any conversations? I know we talked about Taylor a second ago. Have you had any chance to chat with JJ about your role specifically or whatnot?
Yeah, when I had initially signed, I was able to chat with him briefly. But I'll definitely be seeing him more. I'll go out to Vegas and, see him and the rest of the coaching staff out there and really be able to chop it up with them, kind of more about that, the role things and all the, different schemes that they have, because I know he's a very detail-oriented, high IQ type coach. So I'm excited to get in the gym with him.
Jake, have you heard from LeBron or Luka?
Nope, I have not, but I'm excited to when I get the chance.
How do you kind of envision you playing with those guys?
I think they'll just make my life easier, and I think vice versa. I think it'll just be a lot of complimenting each other. They have a lot of court, all the defense is looking at them. So it makes my life easier as far as being able to just hit open shots or, getting easy backdoor cuts or anything like that. And then I help them out by doing all the little things on the court, making, all the hustle plays and taking on those defensive matchups and everything like that.
Who was your vet at any of your stops? Who was the guy that took you under his wing?
Well, Memphis was so young. We didn't.
Right.
Who was my rookie year? Desmond Bain was only in his third year, I think, my rookie year, but I would say he was the one that kind of was the vet for me, because he was the one that I was always asking questions to about stuff, just because he was about the right things. And then when I was with Sacramento, obviously we had a lot more. We had DeMar, Zach LaVine, Jay Crowder. So I was kind of able to ask all of them. a bunch of different things and learn things from them as well.
What's the best advice you've gotten from any of those guys? Could be on or off the floor.
Yeah, I mean, the main questions that I ask people are like what the off court routines are that have helped, that they feel have helped them be in the league as long as they have. And the biggest things they say is like diet, yoga, getting a massage like literally every other day, stuff like that. Because my biggest thing is I want to be in the league a long time and I want to be making an impact for a long time. So that's what I want to learn. Like, how are you taking care of your body?
As a kid from Indianapolis who's now just coming out to L.A., is there anything that you perceive about Los Angeles or perhaps things you want to do while you're in Los Angeles that you've heard about?
Get some sun. That's about it. I'm excited to have good weather pretty much year round. So
you'll get that, bro. Don't worry about that. It's good to have you, man. Congratulations on the success, the new deal, and
your engagement.
And your engagement, and welcome to LA. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, appreciate y'all.
All right, man. See you. There he is, Jake LaRavia.
He's unbelievable. We now interview kids that are younger than my kids. You know? That is crazy. 23 years old. By the way, give it up to the fiance.
That's a bold move.
She sees him on the plane. He stands out like a sore thumb because he's tall.
Right.
Then she randomly runs into him on the streets of Toronto the next day and then slides into the DMs.
Yeah.
That's aggressive and impressive.
It is. I would agree.
I got a lot of that happening in my life myself.
We got a break now, right? We got to double up. We had to double up now, right?
I mean, we could smooth it out here for a second.
I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at you because I don't want to make sure you're always claiming, oh, we stretch the clock, we do this, we do that.
Yeah, stretch this.
Me. That's you.
Didn't we do? We already did the Subaru live read.
We did.
I got into the YouTube chat.
Thanks to Lindsay.
Oh, you did?
Lindsay mentioned to do it before because
Lindsay
good job,
knows
Lindsay.
Lindsay knows what she's doing.
Way to produce, girl.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
All right, now, okay, how long do we have? Or do
What was that?
It's a cat.
Fight on.
Cat,
Is that
cow.
Funchy's cat?
Cat, cow.
Bunchy's got Hello Kitty back here, so he's really
Oh, we
excited
do
about
have to
that.
talk about Hello Kitty later with LAFC.
With Mario. Mario's stopping.
Is he going to stop in?
Yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
Let's take a break here. Let's take a break.
Do you want to
then.
just break now?
And
Or,
then
or do you want to go into Cappy's thing? Like his calendar?
No, because then we're going to go. Let's do a break here.
Okay. Right.
Then let's tease the Cappy story after what you need to know about how Cappy stiffed a partner meeting today, and I had to fill in for Cappy.
Correct.
Because you're a scumbag who can't even manage your own calendar.
You can't manage your own Calendly?
I'm just going to say this.
You want me to be like the judge or
I
the
do.
jury?
I want you to be
the arbiter.
I want you to be the mediator.
Okay.
And in this particular case, I want you to
What
be
about
the judge.
Walrus? What's his role?
Walrus can also have a vote.
Okay.
I'm going to present
Well,
one.
that's two people.
Okay, but
so
I'm
we
gonna-
got to. And then we use DeAndre, Funchy, and Lindsay. So you get five. Jury of five.
I'm going to have one piece of defense.
Okay.
You have none.
Okay, but hold on.
Yeah.
I have one piece of defense.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Let's see if you guys buy it.
Okay, we'll do it after what you need to know next.
It's the event of the summer. All-Star Friday night.
Friday, July 11th at West Covina Sportsplex.
With producer Jorge's home run, it is a final!
The summer event we all wait for. The 7-10 softball game. The listener game. And fun and frivolity.
Press the flesh with us, the West Covina Sportsplex. All-Star Friday night made possible by Children's Dental Fun Zone. At Children's Dental Fun Zone, we treat your kids as our own. Children's Dental Fun Zone.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time.
Pick me up and never put me down.
Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink like our creamy and delicious Thai tea. Waba Grill, keeping it real every day for you.
Have you checked out the new Park West Bicycle Casino? Only 9 miles from downtown LA, right off the 710. The bike has been reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and 200 table games. On July 15th, buy in for $100 and get $100 in Lucky Chips plus $50 in free play chips. ESPN listeners get $30 in match play when they walk in and say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino. Real cards, real prizes, real close.
Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. GAR-0011291, 001289, 001292. PSI is license number 1358. Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Craving that beach vibe? There's an Islands restaurant near you with all your favorites. Crafting your perfect Islands moments with classic burgers, fresh cut fries, local brews, and never-ending summer drinks. Visit your local Islands restaurant.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
3:59 on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm gonna vamp for a second because Lindsay's out of the studio. So it is Sedano with Cap on a live imaging Tuesday. Walrus in Encino, the great caller, the great Twitter person we have, whatever.
Tweeter,
you
I like
Tweeter,
yeah.
He's in studio as part of the live imaging Tuesday experience from Children's Hospital LA, our March Matter campaign we did. You won the Clinton Yates experience, and then you won the live imaging Tuesday experience, and we're happy to have you today.
So you sent me this text. Is this supposed to be your thing to like get you off the hook?
Yeah. Well,
we will talk about Cappy's defense for not showing up to a meeting today, not showing up to a partner lunch. But first, it is time for what you need to know.
Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. That's the 90 minutes from wherever you are.
Take it away, Producer Lindsay.
Thanks, Christopher. All right, so guys, Mark Walter, the new owner of the Lakers, is backing a very, I guess you would call it, ambitious science project, and it is bringing back an extinct bird from the dead. It's called a moa. It's a giant flightless bird that went extinct over 600 years ago, and him, along with Tom Brady and Tiger Woods, are... they're putting in a bunch of money, millions of dollars, to try and bring this bird out of extinction. And I thought it was really interesting and weird. That's what you need to know.
Did they say why they're consumed with said bird?
They said because they want to reintroduce it into New Zealand's protected habitats so it could be good for the environment. I guess, I don't know, it has something to do with the ecosystem and, the food chain and all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to be environmentally beneficial.
Ecosystem, food chain, all that kind of stuff.
But I mean,
are they going to bring back dinosaurs as well?
Well, they've already tried that a few times, and they have, they're working on the woolly mammoth, I do know.
Yeah.
But this one is like, I guess they, this is part of the whole.
So Tom Brady's going to open up Jurassic Park.
Probably.
So wait, there's got to be something in this thing, though, like for Tom Brady and Tiger Woods. Like, what do they care?
It says that they're trying to restore ecosystems, revive lost species, and push the limits of what humans
Yeah, because
can
they
engineer.
eventually want to be able to regenerate themselves.
Yeah.
That's where this
Just
goal
like in
is.
Austin Powers at the beginning when they're all in those tanks.
Right.
What about taking care of the species that actually live on the earth?
Yeah,
right
something
now?
to think about.
Well, you got to
Something
test on
contemplate.
animals first, usually. So there's that. But no, but I'm with you.
Wait, so are there any of these birds, or they're
No,
extinct?
they've been extinct for 600
They're
years.
gone. So how are they going to bring them back? How are they doing this?
Because they
Science.
I guess.
I mean, but
Did you not
the
hear any of it?
extinction, I just wonder if there's like two of them still left somewhere.
Wait,
you know?
no, extinction is gone.
That's it,
Kinda
done,
like-
over.
kinda
If
like-
they're on the extincted list, that means there's still a few
Endangered,
available.
you mean.
Well, maybe they
Endangered
could've
list, excuse me.
Kind of
Maybe
like
they could've
without
gone extincted.
Sedano and I, your career would be extinct.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not endangered?
No, it was endangered. Then it was extinct.
Now-
then we brought you back to life.
Okay, well, you see, like Tom
Well, it
Brady.
wasn't extinct.
And like Tom Brady and Tiger Woods, you guys are going to try and revive a bird, or in this case, a loudmouth.
Listen, I will say that it's part of like this overarching project. Have you ever heard of CRISPR?
CRISPR?
I've only heard of it because I listen to a lot of podcasts, watch a lot of documentaries. Basically, it's a way that they can like genetically reproduce genetic makeups, and so they're eventually the idea is to be able to, be able to like reverse autism or Down syndrome or even cancer, like through the cells. They can, like,
Designer
alter,
babies.
Right, you can alter the cells, and so they're starting with these, I guess, big grandiose animals because they got to test them on them, so they're trying to bring them back to life.
Well, I mean, haven't breeders been doing that forever with dogs? I mean, these teacup dogs are
Yes,
not natural.
you're right, they
You know what I mean?
have.
And
Not
the
in lab, though, not in
hypoallergenic.
the lab.
You're right.
Not
However,
in a lab, but
and
they've been breeding
they
and
also,
crossbreeding, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, but they've also not been doing it with anything
Cap's
extinct.
been
Don't say
crossbreeding.
anything. Don't
Cap's
say
been
anything.
crossbreeding for years.
I mean, crossbreeding was just an easy
They're,
layup.
they're
I
literally
mean, come on.
they're literally using like old frozen like bird feathers
All
to
I know
try
is
and bring
this.
these things back.
Tiger Woods and Tom Brady and Mark Walter, you know what they should do? They should do what you talked about just a minute ago. They should work on reversing autism and Down syndrome and cancer and all this other stuff. Forget about some bird that's been on the extinction list for all these
he's
years.
your boyfriend. Why don't you ask him yourself?
I would love to.
That would be a good question. to
I
ask.
would love to. Tom, why are you so concerned about some bird in New Zealand?
Why not? Is what he's going to probably say.
Mm.
That is what you need to know. 4:03 on a live imaging Tuesday. Sedano and Kap.
All right, so go ahead. What is the case against you? Because he sent me this text with this email.
So let's set the stage.
And I already know what he's going to say based on reading this email.
If you're just tuning in, as we say, or signing up on YouTube or listening on the app.
Does he need to get sworn in, though, before?
No, this ain't the trial of the century. There's no sliwa.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
That guy.
What we have done is...
He says,
thank
that
you,
guy.
Lindsay.
Just left out the effing. That effing guy.
So today,
go ahead.
There was a partner lunch scheduled.
Right, with the
with Damon.
Seller's Advantage.
Damon is the president of Seller's Advantage. He's a great guy.
The real deal.
Right.
Now, these days, it takes a lot to get something scheduled with Cappy because there's all this accoutrement. Kids, Rachel, San Diego, L.A. So there's a lot of people involved in the creation of calendar items for Cappy. And listen, as I
So
said...
you have access to his calendar.
I don't have access to his calendar.
You can just
but
do an invite.
I do a lot of invites for
Right.
Cappy, and I tried to set this up because...
Okay, real quick. Is that accurate? Did
Yes,
he send
everything
you a
he's
lot
saying
of
is right.
invites?
Yep, everything's
Cappy is the number one endorser on the station, as
Yeah.
I told Debbie today on Twitter. Cappy's the number one endorser,
I know
Debbie.
Debbie can't be happy about
He's
that.
not going anywhere, I
She's
promise
probably
you.
even more mad because she always complains how cheap he is.
Right. She is mad, probably more mad because now she knows you're making more money than anyone else.
Debbie's not happy.
No.
So, Cappy's in demand.
With Cappy.
So 3 weeks ago, we're going back and forth. All these possible days, what works, whatever. We finally come to this date, July 8th, 12:30 p.m.
Right.
I said, perfect. I lay it down in an outline in an email to like 5 people. I said, I'm sending a calendar invite now.
When was that?
This was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
I send the calendar.
Were you here 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds fine. It made it onto my
I
calendar.
send the calendar
And you
invite.
saw it on your
Yeah.
calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did
When
he
did you hold on? When did you see it?
that day, because he accepted it
Yeah.
5 seconds later.
Oh, yeah, for
so
sure.
you accepted it
100%.
on that day. Did you see it again after that?
Put it this way. The answer is yes.
Okay.
And just so you know, that last week when I was on vacation,
Right.
there were a lot of different texts and emails coming about, is July 7th going to be the Children's Hospital dinner at Fleming's? Oh, no, it's July 14th. Oh, no, wait, now it's July 8th. Okay, that got worked out.
Right.
Also, while on vacation.
Right. What does that have to do with this, though?
Well, I'm going to explain. There's a lot of confusion.
Okay.
And then Sam Lloyd, who's in our sales department,
Samantha
right?
Lloyd.
Yeah.
She
You made
said,
her cry.
I did.
Well, she was mad this morning, along with Tommy,
Yeah.
because that is how I found out today around 11 a.m. hey, Chris, Cappy's not coming to lunch. And I said, what?
Well, yeah. So let me just tell you, so that it was also, hey, Cap, we're going to go have dinner with this person this night. We're going to go have dinner with this person. And then things started to get moved because then there was the Children's Hospital. So there was a lot of moving parts. But I wanted
Did
to say
anything
this.
change with the calendar invite
No.
I placed on your calendar?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So right now.
And you said you had seen it multiple times already.
And accepted it.
And moreover,
Right.
moreover, I like to use that word.
Moreover.
I also, as my vacation was coming to an end, was already making plans for which days I needed to be in L.A.,
Right.
knowing that the softball game was Friday.
Right.
And I was planning on coming up yesterday because I knew about this lunch today.
Correct.
So I want to say I'm guilty as charged all the way around.
So you're admitting guilt.
Until one thing happened.
Okay.
Okay, one thing happened.
What happened?
So Chris and I are talking. This is
We talk
Sunday.
a lot about his calendar, by the way.
And so Chris and I are talking.
Right.
And I'm saying something to the effect of, well, I'm going to come up on Monday. And he's like, well, why are you coming up on Monday? Because we're going to do
Right.
Tuesday.
Right.
And then Wednesday, we're going to drive to South.
Right.
And then Chris sent me an email.
Yesterday, this is the one you just sent me.
Correct.
Cappy
So-
this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Do you
go
want
ahead.
me to read it?
I do, but I want you to, I think you've already seen the part that I believe absolves me from this
Well,
responsibility.
I've read the email. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I don't
So
know
go
if it
ahead-
absolves you.
Okay, go ahead and read it out loud.
It says, Morning, Cap. Welcome back. Hope you had a beautiful break. We missed you.
Isn't that nice of me to say?
Very nice.
Now, just for the record, this is to Cappy and Stephanie.
Right. It's just
Stephanie's
three people on this.
Stephanie's on this email because she takes care of our East Central bookings.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Just to confirm, after our emails last week, for this week, we will tackle next week tomorrow, in parentheses. You are from South today. Tomorrow in L.A., 2 p.m., we have Lit CHLA winner, and we'll eat pie, in quotes, with him in the 2 p.m. hour. You also have the CHLA Fleming's dinner winner tomorrow after the show. You, me, Sedano, East Central, Wednesday in L.A. You're back there. You and me back in South on Wednesday after the show. Let me know if that all sounds correct.
Okay, so let me present
So
to the
you're
court.
saying because he did not include the lunch in
No,
this email?
No, not at all. Not
Okay.
one bit.
What was it?
Go back to the line where he talks about 2 p.m. Read that line
Yeah,
again.
but that's 2 p.m. with Walrus,
Okay,
who's sitting
just-
right here.
just-
Not your
Tomorrow
partner
in
who
LA,
pays you.
by 2 p.m., we have the Lit CHLA winner, and he will eat pie with him.
So yesterday I
In
get
the
this
2 p.m.
email. I get this email and I go, well, wait a second. I thought that there was this lunch at 12:30, and what Chris is telling me is that I got to be there at 2 o'clock.
That's not what my email said.
Could you read it? Could
but you
read it
couldn't
one
do
more time?
lunch and pie?
No, I could have.
So I forgot about the lunch because I didn't look at the calendar when I wrote that email. He replied back and said, hey, we have
Wait.
the Damon lunch.
Right, but
I said, okay, yeah, you're right. That's at 12:30. We'll do.
He sends you what?
But you don't send my follow-up reply, which is I said.
Wait, is this on text?
No, this is on email.
Okay.
And I said,
there's more emails?
Send the whole
Wait,
chain.
okay, wait, okay. So here, I just found
Happy.
it. Here's what I said.
You're not presenting full evidence.
Wait,
and
okay.
which I said, no problem.
Omissions.
Wait,
This
we'll
is called
do
the Brady rule,
Hold
Cappy.
on. I say this. I go, yes, tomorrow at 2.
Well, let me see it.
Here, you can, and then I'll actually expand it. Here,
toss it.
Expand this.
Because he's already got his text 10 times the size.
Yeah. All right. It says,
new
all right,
phone,
so
Lindsay.
this-
I think it's standard size.
Yes,
It's been in
tomorrow
phone
2
for like
p.m.
3 months.
Damon from Seller's Advantage for a recording session. Correct? Question mark. And then, hold on. Where's Chris?
I don't see a reply.
I did reply.
I don't see a reply. I'm sorry.
I replied.
I don't see it.
Let me see your phone.
Yeah,
Hold
let's
on,
see
let me
your
find
phone.
it. Let me
Let's
find it.
okay, hold on. Toss it
In
over.
Cap's defense, based on the information I'm getting right now, I feel like it doesn't sound like the lunch is on the docket.
Yeah, but
No, it's on the calendar. You're
it
right.
was,
It's
and
on the
he's
calendar.
already admitted on the record
Yep,
twice
that's
to at
true.
least seeing it multiple times.
That is correct.
No,
I'm not denying
in this
that.
world, which
And
Cappy,
he even responded. The lunch is still at 12:30, right?
I said,
We know how Cap is, and you have to include everything.
I said tomorrow
Oh, no, I
at 2
know.
is Damon from Seller's Advantage for a recording session. Correct. I was asking a question because it occurred to me that instead of Chris saying, "Hey, tomorrow here Tuesday, 12:30 Damon lunch, 2 o'clock recording
Where's your
session."
phone?
Yeah,
Did
where's
you
your
respond?
Where's your
No.
email? Where's the email response? Because what I said was tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Damon from Seller's Advantage for a recording session. Do I have that right? Is it correct? Because the whole time I'm like,
But it's on your calendar.
100%.
And you've seen it
I
multiple
see
times.
Stephanie
100%.
replying with the confirmation numbers.
100%.
Right, for the
so
hotel.
So I admit that I A, booked the lunch,
Right.
B, accepted the invitation on my calendar.
I may
But
not
when-
have replied.
But when Chris said,
I may not have replied, actually. So that's on me. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Because Lindsay just said, what's on the docket? We all live in the GKB world, which you're a big part of because you're the number one endorser, by our calendar. Okay.
And you're big on the calendar.
Big,
I have
love the
to
calendar.
literally email Sam Pines, his assistant, for any time we need to talk that's not already scheduled, and
Okay.
they move around all these pieces. You have this on your calendar.
100%.
And you said just moments ago that you'd seen it multiple times on your calendar.
And accepted it.
Since accepting.
And accepted it,
Yeah,
right.
but
So
since accepting,
Walrus
you'd
and
seen it.
Encino, who's in studio, who is correct in this?
Just wait, before you answer that, I just want to say one more time that when Chris sent me the email about our week, he said tomorrow in LA
He did not
by
include-
2 p.m.
right, he included-
So for me, what I heard, and I know sometimes things get lost in translation in an email.
Wouldn't you
what I heard
say,
was
well, here's what's on my calendar.
Tomorrow,
But he
LA,
did. He replied
2
and
p.m.
asked.
He didn't mention lunch.
I was going to say, if you didn't
He
bring
said
up the
recording
lunch,
session.
your Cap is kind of like, knowing how Cap operates, I feel like he was expecting.
So basically, you're saying we need to do this on a curve for Cappy?
Yes.
The
I
Cappy
feel like,
curve?
No,
I
no,
need a Cappy
I'm
curve.
just saying Cappy probably figured that Chris was like, giving him an all-encompassing view of his day.
I
No,
agree.
I'm not Cappy's
Expecting-
personal
You're
assistant.
right,
I'm
and
sorry.
You're right. You're not, and so that's where the problem is here.
But I think that for me, when I read it, if he would have said, "Hey, listen, so 12:30 is lunch, 2 p.m. is a recording session," when he said tomorrow,
You're a big boy,
in
Cap.
LA, 2 p.m., I went, "Okay, I need to be in LA by 2 p.m.
No,
on
how
Tuesday."
about what's on your calendar?
I thought what you were essentially saying was you need to be here for the recording.
Would I not have changed the calendar invite?
I
I
don't-
would have
I don't
deleted
know.
the calendar
I don't
invite.
Did you
know.
forget about it, Cap, or
No,
did you
not at
just
all.
think it wasn't
Oh,
there?
no.
So,
I thought
okay,
that
why didn't you come for the lunch?
Because I thought that what he was saying was just be here by 2 p.m. for the recording.
But you didn't ask to clarify.
No, but I
He did.
Well,
He
I
followed
did.
up.
So
He did.
what?
Chris didn't reply.
But
I
you
didn't
didn't
reply.
follow up about the lunch, did you?
So why did you text them at 11 a.m. saying you weren't going to make the lunch?
No, that's not what happened.
Oh.
What happened was this morning, Sam and I were texting. Sam Lloyd. Samantha Lloyd.
Yes.
As you like to call her by her
Well,
full
just
name.
because Sam Pines, there's a lot of Sams.
So this morning at 8:57 a.m., she said, "Hi, double checking. Are you coming to lunch at 12:30 with
Oh, my
Damon?"
God.
And then
So
I
that's
wrote,
at 9 a.m.
yes, I wrote back and I said, "No, I'm meeting him at the studio at 2:00 because I had changed my plans because Chris told me 2
You just
o'clock."
sunk yourself even deeper.
No, I don't
That was
think
a
so.
9 a.m. text. You could have been here.
Wait, at that point,
Not
why
really.
didn't you pick up the phone and
Right,
call and say,
right.
"Hey, is this at 12:30? Like, what are we doing?"
Well,
like, that's
sunk
on
yourself.
you.
No,
That's
I don't
on
think
you.
so. Well, but hold on a second. From 10 to noon, you guys all know I got the Cappy Cast. The plan was to be here to to do the
Oh,
Cappy
the
Cast.
Cappy Cast.
Well, listen.
Those guys did the show without you last week.
Right, but for me to now come back and then be off the next day is not really a good look for my partners.
Well, how
So-
about your partners that you stiffed on lunch today?
And by the way, groveled on my hands and knees to Damon. I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. I take great pride in being on time.
He's got a
and never
great commercial
missing.
the last hour here.
Right. And I told him, I said, by the way, this will all play out today. All I'm going to say is this in my defense. I take 100% responsibility for missing the lunch. It's on me. But
No. You
But-
can't
There's
say
no
that.
buts.
You can't
But-
say that.
There's
and
no
then say
buts.
but.
when you
Did you
told me to
cancel
be in
it,
LA at
though?
2
All right,
p.m.,
all right.
that's what
we're past the time.
you screwed me up.
All right. So we will deliberate. Walrus, go ahead.
I was just going to say, let's save the verdict for after the break.
Hey, look at this guy.
freaking walrus.
He's got to tease
this
this walrus.
mother effing walrus.
Yes. All right, we teased that, and then eventually we'll do maybe some sports. next.
Cap, tell us about our friends at Coors Light.
Icy cold Coors Light. Let me tell everybody, the summertime is here, man. And the official beer of summer, that is icy cold Coors Light. Because you could be out on the beach. You could be at your favorite softball event coming up this Friday. You could be out on your hikes. You could be at your favorite ball game. Regardless of what it is, the one thing that ties summer together is enjoying an icy cold Coors Light with your great friends. You know that silver can and the mountains turn blue. It is icy cold Coors Light time. So pick up a Coors Light right near you, or you can even have it delivered to your door today. How? You visit this website, choosechill.com, choosechill.com to learn more. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly and cheers with icy cold Coors Light.
It's the event of the summer.
Does Travis go deep? Travis goes deep!
All-Star Friday night. Friday, July 11th at West Covina Sportsplex.
The 7-10 softball game. The listener game. The fun and frivolity. And what will Morales wear?
The summer event we all wait for.
Team Cappy versus Team Mace with the 7-10 Celebrity All-Star Softball game. Press the flesh with us, the West Covina Sportsplex. All-Star Friday night made possible by our friends at All Pro Plumbing. One call solves all. All Pro Plumbing.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Have you checked out the new Park West Bicycle Casino? Only 9 miles from downtown LA, right off the 710. The bike has been reimagined with new ownership, renovations, and 200 table games. On July 15th, buy in for $100 and get $100 in Lucky Chips plus $50 in free play chips. ESPN listeners get $30 in match play when they walk in and say, Cappy sent me. Park West Bicycle Casino. Real cards, real prizes, real close.
Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. GER-001291, 001289, 001292. PSI is license number 1358.
Ignite your afternoons at Waba Grill's $5 happy hour with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium one beverage drink, like our zesty dragon fruit mango lemonade. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. only at Waba Grill.
For over 20 years, Purple Wave Auction has been the trusted leader in online auctions, offering the easiest way to buy and sell equipment. From bulldozers to backhoes and combines to cranes, we host multiple weekly auctions in construction, ag, and fleet equipment. With our no reserve format and sell where it sits approach, you can bid on local equipment without waiting for far-off auction dates. Get registered for free and start bidding today at purplewave.com.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
I'm stirring it up in the YouTube chat. They got some morons in there and some mongrels.
The mongrels.
Sedano and Kap on a live imaging
More
Tuesday.
apropos, like a wayward dog.
Walrus and Encino is here in studio as part of the Lit Experience from our friends at CHLA. On this day in 1995, the #1 hit TLC Waterfalls. Do you ever listen to this whole song, D? You hear how the story ends?
By the way, I heard Mason Ireland do an OTD
yeah, they
of
do
this.
an OTD now.
And I was like, first of all, they didn't even do it justice. It was just like Mason, like the song came on, and Mason's like, "Oh, is this TLC Waterfalls? What year was that?" And then Brian Cohen goes, 1995. And he's like, "Yeah." And then they just moved on.
No, he doesn't know what to do. Honestly, it's sad. Anyway. Well, they don't, like, you guys sometimes give me a hard time about the rejoins. That's why we do the rejoins the way we do,
Right.
to kind of, like, make it special, and then you guys can react and move on.
One way or another, we will react, yes.
Or, like, when you're not here, George, and Cappy's here with Beto, they just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Honestly. And then he'll reset what I just said. It is Sedano and Kap. Beto sitting in. It's 3:34. Blah, blah, blah.
Wait, do you have...
So it's like 30 seconds that just never happened.
Do you have like a sports radio Tourette's from like, because it was ingrained in the 90s that always reset because we didn't have different platforms. There was no such, it was just basically you and an AM radio.
No.
So is that just like...
I don't know if I got like the Tourette's, the sports radio Tourette's. I just think that like what happened for me last time that you were out and that Beto and I were here is that I didn't know what any of the OTDs were.
So like, just say, I don't know what these are.
So then I just kind of blew them off.
Then they can answer it.
Yeah, I just
they
sort of blew
probably
them
know.
off.
Deandre,
But he also
Lindsay, and
says it. He says what they are.
No, here's the... Play the music again. Pot the music up. So
he literally.
So this is what I'm doing, right? On this day in 1995, the #1 hit TLC Waterfalls. Sedano and Kap with Beto. Your Tuesday afternoon continues right now.
There's no way you
Then
can't...
there's music playing for 10 seconds.
Right.
It is Sedano and Kap.
That's right.
Here, Beto.
Yep, Beto's in. Beto's in for Sedano.
Right.
That's right. Beto's in for Sedano.
No,
What is this OTD?
Not even like an Andre
Not even an
Rison
acknowledgement.
connection.
Not even a
like
Lisa
Left Eye
Left
Lopez,
Eye.
may
no,
she rest in peace.
No, R.I.P.
Yeah.
And then the
no
most
Left Eye.
reaction they'll have is like Funches and Beto will make fun of me for playing. Like, man, why do they play this whack stuff? And then Lindsay will go like, yeah, it's so whack. Lindsay doesn't want to say, guys, it's the list I give him. But nevertheless, That's
I never say it's whack. I say every song is a banger. Every song.
Beto
is a
will
banger.
say something like, "This is white people music" or something like that.
I mean,
you know.
I mean, not TLC.
Well, I'm just giving an example. You know
I
what
will
mean?
say that Trudell puts a lot of thought into his responses.
He
about
does.
The
He's a
OTD.
thoughtful young man.
Yeah.
He is a
Ball
thoughtful young-
knowers.
I hear that Trudell is on the injured list right now.
Wait a
Is
minute,
he?
what?
With a back injury.
Well, he suffers from back injuries.
But I
because
also
of his
hear-
soccer playing days in college.
I also hear, though, that he has been added to Team Cap for the softball game this upcoming Friday night.
Because you begged him, and
No,
then Travis
no,
begged him.
I didn't beg him.
And I said, fine.
Is there begging?
No begging. No begging. Now, I begged earlier today for forgiveness with Damon from Seller's Advantage.
Right. All right. So let's determine that. All right,
Oh, yeah.
Walrus, go ahead. But I know you have a solution as well, but let's just deliberate first.
Go ahead, Walrus. What do you think?
All right. So I think ultimately this is a hung jury because there's a lot of evidence flying around, and I think some of it might not have the most integrity. So I think a retrial is probably in order here. I definitely see some fault in what you failed to do, but I also think you weren't necessarily given the best information.
It's on his calendar.
Yeah, well, look, this is what takes me to the solution piece, okay? Because at this point,
What, I
like,
gotta
this
manage his calendar now, too?
conversation- It doesn't have. No, this doesn't have to be you, okay? This is a pretty regular conversation you all have with Cap about missing things
Yes.
and right
And calendars.
I want to help out my Hebrew brother.
Hey,
over here,
my
okay?
Hebraic hermano.
All right. So as a teacher, we have a system. It's called Blackboard Connect, and you can have automatic text messages or phone calls. You can time them. Such a system must be available to the wonderful people here at ESPN LA.
No, we don't have
710.
No, yeah, we're not.
No,
we're
we don't
not.
have that.
He doesn't even know how to change the TV
So, all
channel.
right, so
Okay.
if that's not possible,
that is true. Like, you're also talking about someone who's very
Yo, Fudge, can you turn the
technologically
channel?
inept.
Yo, Fudge,
needs
can you
to
turn the channel here,
happen,
please?
You need to start using alarms on your phone. I have an alarm on my phone to start the dishwasher before I go to sleep to make sure it happens.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Organized
All right?
guy.
You
Well,
just-
Rachel's got
you
alarms
gotta
on
make it
Cappy,
happen.
but that's a different thing.
You got to make. Well,
Wait,
maybe
Cap, you don't do
Rachel's who you need to
calendar
be talking
reminders.
to.
You don't use like reminders on your phone.
No, I do, of course.
So when the calendar reminder popped up that said, "Oh, I have a lunch
Now,
today,"
just let me see the phone again.
Yeah.
This is what I would recommend.
And
Cap.
the calendar. Open the calendar. Real
don't
quick.
swipe.
Cap,
No,
do
no.
you have?
This is the calendar.
You're gonna see a real Hebraic.
Give me the calendar app you use.
Does it have notifications? Does
Yes.
it have alerts?
Yes.
Okay. So,
What's
so it
on the
says-
calendar today at 12:30?
It says the lunch.
Oh.
Damon Sellers lunch and spot recording.
Does he have alerts on? An alert for it?
I do, because when I was
So
driving
last
up
night
at
before-
90 miles an hour, my phone was buzzing going, lunch, dude,
Well,
lunch.
no. If you have something that requires you to be here by a certain time, then you could set 2 reminders on an iPhone calendar. Do one for yesterday
I
and
didn't
then
need
do
it.
one for this morning.
So
I
last
didn't
night,
need it at
let me
all.
ask
I
you
Oh,
a
was
wait.
question.
planning-
Doesn't look like there's a reminder for this.
Let me ask you a question. Last night in bed.
Wait, no, wait. This is a big piece of the information.
No. I'm going to trump you on this one.
Wait,
by
no,
saying
because it
this.
says LA Studio,
right,
and it says 1 to 2, and it says 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before. There's an actual reminder on
What
this
does that matter? 5 minutes before you're still in
But
San
12:30
Diego.
was this lunch.
Right,
today.
but there's no reminder on this one.
So
Well, I didn't say
that's
it.
on him.
That's why
Well, it popped up on my phone.
So you were right.
he's not getting placed in shackles today.
It
Not
popped
today.
up on my phone.
So
that you had
last
this
night
lunch.
when you're in bed,
Yep.
It might pop up in real time at 12:30.
do you not
right?
look at the calendar for the
At that
next day?
point-
Clearly, he does not.
No,
Well,
I
that's
do.
a problem.
No, you guys don't get it. I was
Oh,
totally.
yeah, there is a yes on there.
I was.
on the bottom.
I
It's in
accepted the
blue.
invitation. I totally accepted the invitation. I admit.
And when you look at your bank account and you
Yeah.
see the useless money we spend on you,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
and a lot of it, and you realize,
Yeah.
for all that useless money, maybe I checked my
All
calendar
right,
a couple
let
times.
me go to the
right,
other side
go
of
to
the
the other
glass here.
side. Let's see what
DeAndre, what do you think?
Cap, man, you got to do a better job of managing your calendar. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Linz?
I'll take it.
I feel like I know how your brain works and what I can understand why you made this mistake. However, I would suggest when you have things that require you to like leave earlier than you normally would, you should set a reminder for one day before. So that way you remember the day before and then also that morning. So you're like, oh, it's 8 a.m. I better get going.
Okay, does anybody here? I just want to make sure I understand.
By the way, somebody in the
Punch
YouTube
it.
chat said,
Yep.
reminder for Cap's calendar, pack extra underpants.
No, I do that. That I do all the time.
That's automatic.
Funch, what do you think?
Funchy,
Funch?
what do you got?
I think I might be with Cap because I know how he
Oh.
thinks. And
Well, what does
like,
that mean?
You gotta like spell out things for him. You know,
I
you
do.
gotta do stuff for him.
He
you
wants
know?
an
Like,
itinerary.
Well, you know what,
he's
Funch?
talent.
I
He's
mean,
You know what,
talent.
Funch?
Yeah.
Outside of
Actually, not-
Lakers season, why don't you be his executive assistant then?
That's
What
too
he's
much
saying
work,
is
man.
not
You gotta
actually
pay
very
me some more,
kind.
man.
Thank you.
I think what you guys are missing though is that Chris is the manager of the station, And when he sent me the email yesterday that said 2 p.m. in L.A., that to me said be there at 2 p.m., which meant to me, I guess I don't have to be there at 12:30. I guess they don't need me.
This was a fire hose of information. Is that fair to say?
I think it's fair.
Fire hose. Saying I had the fire hose or Capped it?
You always have the fire
Was
hose.
Chris in on the lunch?
Yeah. Well, look, the audience is already very confused.
They
So
are.
we've done 2 segments of this.
Yeah.
It's like not worth it anymore.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Multiple
listen, we missed
notifications
it.
and alarms.
I missed it. Chris filled in for me.
Yeah.
Damon seemed to have had a lovely lunch.
Yeah, he did actually.
Javier's downtown, which is a very nice place.
Yeah.
And then I groveled and asked for forgiveness because I definitely screwed the whole thing up.
Okay,
You missed your chance to tip the bathroom attendant at Javier's.
I know, you're right.
Can I cap this with a piece of advice my grandfather would always give me?
Please.
It's
Yes.
okay to make a mistake. Just don't make the same mistake twice.
Well, he does it several times.
Hey, real quick, Cappy, you know what?
Tell me.
You were meant for greatness.
Thank you.
Yeah. You might not feel it every day.
Okay,
Especially
but-
around Chris.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make it any less true, is what I would say.
Okay.
And that's the message I saw this morning on a bright yellow billboard with our guy, Jacob and Ronnie, from the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie, and it stuck with me. So if you get into an accident, what should stick to you is calling him at 844-24-JACOB because it's easy to get discouraged. Maybe you've been knocked down. Maybe you're in pain. Maybe life is just heavy right now. Less heavy for Chris these days. But you were built to overcome this as he's fighting with Cappy. Maybe Cappy will need to call Jacob. 844-24-JACOB. Cappy, if you need that number. And then when things get hard, kind of like right now for you, Cappy. No, not hard. Not hard. It helps to have someone in your corner who believes in your comeback. That's Jacob and Ronnie. 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew, and even a busted up Cappy. Not hard. Tell him to send you here. If you've been in an accident, Jacob and Ronnie and his team will take over the hard stuff, Cappy. So you can focus on getting back to the version of you that's strong, confident, and ready to win. No upfront fees, no pressure. You only pay Jacob if he wins. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com, a proud partner of the Rams, Lakers, and LAFC.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
But I'm thinking like going raw.
Raw dog in a flight.
Raw dog in a flight. You get on with nothing. Don't read, no phone, nothing. You just sit there for however long the flight is. Could you make it raw?
I made it like that.
Well, I tried. I made it about 45 minutes, and then it just, because the seat was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I should join
And
the
also,
lawsuit.
the idea
Yeah.
of making seats bigger is better for everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody, even if you're tiny little thing,
Not for
want
the
your seat's
airlines.
bigger.
That's not everybody.
Any customer,
Yes.
4 seats.
fine. So anybody who's like sitting next to somebody who's a little big for a seat and they're complaining about the person being too big, yes, bigger seats is better for
Can't you
everybody.
just delete just a few seats and just make it a little bit wider for everyone?
Travis and DeMarco tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Don't miss Travis and DeMarco on 710 ESPN.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
In 1979, the first words spoken on ESPN weren't just an announcement.
If you're a fan,
They were a sports prophecy.
what you'll see in the next minutes, hours, and days to follow
Glad you're with us tonight.
may convince you you've gone to sports heaven. And right now, you're standing on the edge of tomorrow.
This fall, the next era of ESPN begins. Sports Forever.
It's the event of the summer. All-Star Friday night.
Friday, July 11th at West Covina Sportsplex.
With producer Jorge's home run, it is a final!
The summer event we all wait for. The 710 softball game. The listener game. And fun and frivolity.
Press the flesh with us, the West Covina Sportsplex. All-Star Friday night made possible by Islands Restaurant. Island by your local Paradise Islands Restaurant. The Jaime and Blanca Foundation. And we can't wait to press the flesh with Jaime Harin.
streaks on the china. Never mattered before.
4:30 on a live imaging Tuesday. Sedano and Kap.
Drop kick your jacket.
Gosh, I love this song.
I haven't heard this in forever.
Radio Tinder Time, we like to play a TV theme like this one on this day in 1990. The final episode of Mr. Belvedere aired on ABC.
Yeah.
You remember Mr. Belvedere?
I do. Is this the...
Bob Uecker was on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was the dad.
Huh.
And remember the thing that used to go around that... who was the alt artist that they said was the oldest son, but it wasn't?
I don't know.
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn
Remember
Manson?
That was the rumor that was Marilyn Manson.
Who's Marilyn Manson got to do with Mr. Belvedere?
They tried to say the oldest son became
was
Marilyn Manson.
Right.
But he removed those ribs so that he could do that thing.
What?
That was like a whole thing.
What do you remove your ribs
No,
for?
no,
what do you do?
no, we don't need to talk
No,
about
but
that.
if you remove your ribs, what can you do?
You don't remember that?
No.
But then it ended up it wasn't
We're
the
all
kid
going to get
from Mr.
fired
Belvedere.
if we talk about this.
Oh, really?
You
Yes.
can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter and Instagram.
Bad.
Don't forget about our new sponsors. The Crazy Hernandez Brothers.
Love those guys.
Brought to you by Hernandez Wholesale Flooring. If you're in the market for new flooring, shop at Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, where every day is a deal. No gimmicks. Sucker. Call 866-624-FLOOR or go to HernandezWholesaleFlooring.net. No sale beats wholesale, and nothing beats producer Lindsay Baseball. Take it away, baby.
So, I don't know how familiar you guys are with present-day NASCAR drivers, but there's a 25-year-old...
Nah, maybe 20 years ago.
Okay, so there's a 25-year-old NASCAR driver named Carson Ware, and he has some neck tattoos and a couple little face tattoos, right?
Okay.
And so he has decided and posted on social media that he's going to get them removed. He wrote, "After some thinking, I've decided to remove my neck and face tattoos. My first appointment is next Tuesday. For those that have never judged me because of them, you have no idea what that meant. For those that did..."
Unlike Gabby, who just went, ugh.
Right. And he said, "For those that did, I can't say I blame you or don't understand. I want to be able to represent companies in NASCAR to the best of my ability, and this decision aligns with that." So I wanted to ask you guys, do you think that this is going to make a difference with his sponsors?
Is he any good?
Swipe left or swipe right?
He's a good driver?
Yeah, I guess he's like an up-and-coming driver. He's only 25.
Right.
Very young.
Right, but has he won anything yet? Did he win Daytona?
No.
How about Talladega?
Talladega.
I just am
literally,
coming
like,
up with
just
names
got
of
his
races.
braces.
How about
you know?
Fontana?
Fontana's a
I
good
think
one, too.
Talladega is a location, not the
Yeah.
name of the race.
Oh, isn't it the Talladega 500?
No, it's the name of the race.
Oh, it is?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. How about the Pocono?
Talladega, nice.
How about the Pocono 300? How about that one?
Is Pocono still a thing?
I don't know. How about Homestead? Is Homestead still a thing?
Homestead's still a thing.
Okay, it
That's
is?
the last
By the
one.
way,
The Pocono 300.
the NASCAR documentary, the new one on
Netflix?
it was on a Prime, I think. The guy who died,
Dale Earnhardt.
Dale
yes,
Earnhardt Sr.
about his
Senior.
about his son.
Junior.
That-
Don't
yeah.
kill Junior.
I didn't kill
Junior.
Junior. I didn't mean to.
Junior.
We should start
it's
finding
very
you
good.
if you kill
Is
somebody.
Junior still racing?
No,
No,
he's not.
he's
He's a
a
broadcaster.
broadcaster.
Now a cart like league, like like the whatchamacallit, the carts that just go down the hill.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But he does a lot of broadcasts. He's on commercials all the time.
Yeah.
Probably, like Prime.
Yeah, he's got to be like in his late 40s, early 50s now.
Did you watch the American Apparel one? We just
Oh
watched
yeah, I
that.
just watched it the other day.
That one was crazy.
That was
It kind of
weird.
reminds me of what Cappy would be if he was running a clothing line.
Oh, wait, there was an American Apparel documentary?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
It was part of their train wreck series.
Oh, they had good products.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can see why you would like American Apparel, Cappy.
Why? What about them?
They're comfortable.
Yeah,
The
they were
billboards,
nice.
I
Lindsay, is
meant,
that what you're
yeah, I
talking
meant
about,
the
billboards?
advertising. It was like,
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
It was a little, especially for the time. It was a little on the edge.
Okay, all
okay,
right.
so let's say this guy's an up and coming racer. Do you think it matters that he's removing his tattoos?
I don't think it's a bad idea. As long as he's okay with it and he didn't do it just because, like, somebody told him.
It sounds that way.
Some consultant told him to do it. If he wanted to do it, then he did it. Like, I'm good with that. Like, I don't want him doing it just because he thinks he needs to fit into some sort of box.
I don't care
gonna make
what his
more
motivation
money.
is. Yeah, I mean, like, put it this way: if I'm Damon at Seller's Advantage, and I've got face tattoos, he might be like, I don't like that look, and I don't think I want you representing my company. And I don't know what companies this NASCAR driver is representing.
What's the guy's name?
Carson Ware.
Yeah, like I don't know what companies he's representing, but if you're, Coke or Pepsi, and you think, I don't know about the face tattoos, I don't really love that as my spokesperson.
And plus-
He doesn't have a ton of them.
No, but he has a lot on his neck, and then he has a couple of these weird.
Yeah, but you can barely see the neck when he's wearing
Right,
the suit.
but I
The
think
neck
it's-
thing doesn't bother me; it's the face thing.
Yeah, he has them like under his eyeball, like on his cheek and
Oh.
stuff. So I feel like NASCAR's big business, and it's very corporate sponsored. It's all about the corporate sponsors. That's how you make the money. So I can understand why he probably feels he could make more money and get more sponsors if he gets rid of them. That's what I think.
I mean, he's a pretty decent looking kid. Looks very clean cut. And then you look at his face, and on the right side of his face, he's got like two little
He's got
hearts.
no wins, too. I mean,
and he's
that
got
doesn't
like
help.
Right, he's got a little squiggly face thingy over here on his right eye. And honestly, dude, the neck stuff you can't even see, but the face stuff just doesn't, it's just not
I don't
attractive.
know. I don't think it makes a big deal. Like that, it's so small. Like, who cares?
I think the wins are the bigger problem. Post Malone, he does all sorts of commercials.
Yeah, but that's
Good
different.
job,
Post
but
Malone
he's a
is a
rock
rapper.
star.
He's got no
You know?
wins.
He has no
Yeah.
wins.
No wins in
Yeah.
4 years.
Well, if
his
he's-
best finish is 53rd.
Well, then you know what? Doesn't really matter if he has face tattoos or he doesn't have face tattoos. If my man can't drive, then ain't nobody going to want him to have sponsorship anyway.
Well, his brother is really famous and good, I guess.
Who's that?
Cody Ware.
Oh, Cody Ware.
Does he have face tattoos?
No.
Oh. Well, maybe that's slowing him down.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
maybe they're not aerodynamic
Right.
enough.
Funchy's got the next one.
Cody Ware's handsome.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, guys, I got bad news.
Oh, no.
Do you have any?
jeez.
You guys know about Kohl's French Dip, which is like down
Yes.
the street?
Oh, my God.
It's
Yeah.
going to close after 117 years of business.
No way.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
That's a rough part of town.
It is. It is.
That
It is.
really
It really
rough.
is. It really
Cappy,
is.
you think we've gone to some rough places? This is on the edge.
Yes.
On like First Street. I mean, I went there one time. This is pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
So maybe 2018, 2019 for a cocktail.
Yeah.
And I walked out of there at like 9:30 at night, and it was like, oh my God,
Yes,
where am I?
I get that, but there's a nice bar next door too, which is
Yeah.
really
Oh, my
good.
God.
The Continental Room, I believe.
Yes,
I
the
believe-
Continental Room.
Yes,
You're right.
yes.
When are they
yes.
closing this French dip
They're
place? Because
closing
I love
it.
a French
I
dip.
know. I want to go see. I want
Let's
to go.
go.
It's
Punch
Funchy
on
on
the
the street,
street.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's closing August 3rd.
Okay, let's go this week.
I want to go there this Saturday just to beat the rush because I know people are going to go there towards the end next
Oh,
month.
yeah.
You know, yeah. But I can't stop looking at the menus. I was in bed last night obsessing over the menu.
Me too. I was in bed last night looking at my calendar. Go ahead.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
No, you weren't. All right, so
Funchy is
so-
serious. He really was looking at the menu.
Yes,
while he
I
was.
was.
In bed.
So
I hope I get you right in the eye.
So when you know
forks
when you
at
guys
Chris.
are going
Always
to
wearing
eat somewhere
glasses.
delicious soon, are you looking at the menu ahead of time to see what you're going to eat, what you're going to order, and everything?
No.
I mean,
You
if
guys-
I've never been, I'll take a quick glance at the menu.
Will you really? You don't like the surprise of opening
If
the
I've
menu?
never
going,
been someplace?
Chap, what would I get, Chap?
I mean, if I've
French
never
dip?
been,
Hey, I want to go to this French dip place.
see
Yeah,
what else
for
they
sure.
got.
Yeah, let's go to Kohl's.
They only
Let's
have
go.
like 4 sandwiches.
Kohl's is the originator before
Philippe.
Yeah,
So that's what
they're
you
the
need to do. You
so-called
need to get one from
inventors
each.
of the French dip,
Yeah.
the French dip sandwich.
Compare,
Okay.
contrast.
All right.
A lot of people
Are they
think-
from France?
No, I don't
No,
think so.
what?
Well, you just said they're the sole inventors
What?
of the French
The
dip
so-called
sandwich.
inventors
But
of
the
it.
French dip is not.
It's not from France,
That's
though,
like
really.
French fries, Lindsay.
French fries are French.
Is French toast French?
Yeah. What
I'm
makes it
believing.
French?
This is getting cut up for the open.
What makes it French? I'm serious. It
Then-
came from France.
They dip
I
roast beef in
actually
France.
don't know what makes it a French
I'm gonna
dip.
Google this, okay? Let's-
It's on a French roll. That's what it is.
Probably
a
a
French bread.
documentary.
Yeah.
Why do they call French fries
Right.
French fries?
They just call them
there's-
fries.
There's
or
a
frites,
documentary.
actually.
It
Freedom
No, they
follows
call them
the
chips.
American Apparel.
They
Freedom
call
fries
them
now.
chips
Video.
over there, actually. They call French fries chips.
That's right.
No, that's in London.
That's
the UK.
Yeah. Frites. They
It's
call them
frites.
frites.
Frites in
But yes, I
France.
propose we should go to Kohl's.
Let's
before it
go.
closes.
Should
I
we
have
go
a
for
quick
lunch
question.
tomorrow?
I'm totally down with that.
I have a quick question
I'm going
for
to invite
D-Hawk.
Damon.
D-Hawk, are you familiar with the phrase freedom fries?
Freedom fries?
Freedom fries,
Oh
yeah.
boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
I wish I didn't know that either.
All right.
What's freedom
It's when we
fries?
were really pissed off at France
Yeah.
and we just didn't want to call them French fries
Anyway,
anymore.
one more
remember that in France.
radio Tinder here
Teacher.
real quick here, guys.
Go ahead, Wins.
This I especially want to hear Cappy's take on this because we always get on him about the whole location sharing thing. So there's a woman who has a 21-year-old son who still lives at home with her, and he shares his location with her husband, the kid's dad, but not her. So he's in school, he's in college, and he works part-time. So, you know, and like I said, he still lives at home, but sometimes she says he doesn't come home all night. He stays out all night long. She wonders if maybe he has a drug problem or if, you know, there's something fishy going on. But he refuses to share his location with his mom. Only allows his dad to view his location. So she wants to know if there's something, is she wrong for being upset with her son?
How old is this kid?
21.
By the way, you just
Grown-ass
said
man.
Nah, he's a child.
The grown-ass man.
Nah, 21's not a grown-ass man.
She said, how do I find out what he's doing and try and get him some help?
Why don't you ask him?
Well,
why does she think that something bad's going on?
well, I mean, obviously she's just a very overprotective mom. I can
Maybe
see that.
he's having some fun. You know, spend
Oh,
the
yeah.
night places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dropping that heat.
I mean, listen, any 21-year-old doesn't want their mom knowing their location. You
Hanging
don't
out
have
with
to be
those stray
doing anything
cats.
What a
wrong.
dad knows.
Right. So why is it
Well,
that,
and they're divorced?
No, they live together.
Oh, then with the dad.
Right.
knows.
If the dad has the locations,
just
then
tell
all
him
mom
out.
has to do is ask for his phone.
Well, he lives. Well, I'm saying like she wants to know if she's being crazy.
Well, if the parents are not divorced, then I don't think it's a big deal as long as somebody knows where he is.
Listen, it's real simple for me with my 4 kids. I tell everybody, turn on Life 360. If anybody tells me, no, Dad, I don't need you knowing where my locations are, I go, okay, that's no problem. I don't mind.
Then you're gonna say you're gonna cut them off financially and never
No.
actually cut them off.
No, not at all. Although that's probably what would happen.
Yes.
But
No
what I do
Amazon orders.
My threat is, George, because I do make a threat. My threat is, oh, you don't want to share your location with me? That's okay. You can give me back my phone that I give to you. Or I could just call Verizon and shut down your account. Would you like to pay for your own phone? Oh, you don't? Great. Then share your location with me. That's all.
Awfully
Pretty simple.
Well, if you want to
Very
know,
threatening, isn't it?
I would say quite draconian.
Right. And by the way, you know I'd never follow through on any of those threats.
First of
None.
all, you think you could call somebody and you'd have to sit there for like 45 minutes to get to somebody at Verizon.
yeah,
listen.
that would never happen.
I'd have to walk into a Verizon store and deal with those idiots.
They love you over there.
Oh, they're
You
the
should
worst.
make your kids a deal, all right? If they're not going to turn that on, they need to remind you when you need to go to things.
Right. Good point, Walrus.
All
Thank
right,
you.
That's Radio Tinder. All right, coming up next. What the hell? I mean, we didn't do any of this stuff that we had put on this.
Like
rundown.
Literally nothing.
Like what?
Yeah. Like Dave Roberts, your boy,
Uh-huh.
ripping his team.
I don't know.
What do you
Are
mean
they
you
going to
don't
win
know?
tonight, or are they
Can
going
he-
to
can he
continue
rip
the
them?
losing?
I mean, he wasn't thrilled,
They're about
certainly.
to play right now.
We'll hear it next. How about
Okay.
that?
Mason and Ireland on 710.
The biggest show on the radio.
Tell me if you think I did the right thing. So I go to the, you see packages on your porch and you just open them, right? So I open a package and it's filled with Viagra. There's a box of Viagra in it.
Someone needed it.
And I look at it and it's for the house across the street. So if you get your neighbor's Viagra, what's the right thing to do?
And you opened it?
I opened it.
See, I wouldn't have opened it.
Well, yeah, but if you're, if something's on your porch, you just start opening stuff. 'cause you assume-
No, you gotta
Don't
check.
you see for your
Oh,
name?
no.
I just
No.
open stuff. It's on my porch. It must be mine. Did you take any? No, I don't need that. You're a machine. Kidding me? I'm a bobcat in the sack. Thurish.
Mason and Ireland. Back tomorrow at noon.
On 710 ESPN.
Beat the heat this summer with NextGen, the official AC plumbing and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. If your AC breaks down, don't hesitate. Call NextGen now and enjoy expert installation on any new system. For a limited time, combat SoCal's air quality and reduce dust in your home with a free no-ozone air purifier included with any new AC system install. Call 833-3NEXTGen or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com to book online. CSLB number 1011173, lifetime warranty on selected items.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone now through July 28th. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Sedano and Kap live in between Tuesday.
Since I don't know how to turn the TV channels, I got Funchy coming in here turning on the Dodger game. Yeah. Dodgers got a 1-0 lead. Did Shohei hit a home run?
On this day in 1989, the number 1 hit, Fine Young Cannibals, Good Thing.
This is the follow-up to She Drives Me Crazy.
Wasn't much of a follow-up, in my opinion. It was still a number 1 song.
Yeah.
The
But
guy
it
who was
wasn't
the
as
lead
good as
singer had that Eddie Munster like haircut
I
thing.
thought he had like just a high hairline.
No. He had like the line. What do they call it? A crow's nest or
a widow's peak.
A widow's peak.
Widow's peak.
Crow's nest. Widow's peak. Yeah, he had like this
Some
thing
kind of
like
bird.
Eddie Munster meeting in the middle. Thing.
Today's also National Freezer Pop Day. You like a freezer pop? And on this day in 1889, the first issue of the Wall Street Journal was published. How about that? So
he was just balding.
The widow's peak?
Yeah, I mean, it was like pronounced, but it really was just like he was just balding.
So I was just telling, because we were talking.
He's much better when he shaved it.
During the break, Cappy was continuing to talk about how the calendar thing that we talked about earlier in the show. But I'll say this. So Lindsay.
Again with this?
No, I'm diverting to a different thing.
This is a new wrinkle.
It's unbelievable. It never ends.
Lindsay mentioned this
I'm
a while
so
ago.
bored of this
Me
already.
On
too.
how to schedule
This
text.
guy and his calendar.
On how to schedule text.
Yeah.
Which is a helpful thing now on the new iOS.
Yeah.
You can schedule text. Like you can schedule emails. I'm a big schedule email guy sometimes.
Yeah.
Never.
So before Cappy went on vacation to Philadelphia originally, the night before I was thinking about Cap and like all the good times we share and, whatever. I scheduled a text for the next morning at 5 a.m.
Right.
Hey, Cappy, have a great flight.
Kick ass.
We'll miss you. Kick ass in Philadelphia. Love you, bro. By the way, I'm asleep right now. I scheduled this text. Don't text me back.
And he texts you back.
He texted me back at 5:01.
Did I wake you up?
Yes.
So here's the question.
Yeah, it's your
Do you
fault.
think-
You should not do not
You think he
disturb.
read the text or just saw that you texted him and then figured, I got to text him back?
Probably the latter.
I thought it was very sweet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but he said don't text him back because he was sleeping.
By the
And
way,
you still
Cap, you
text
never
him back.
gave me your comrade
Oh, I have it with me, Linz. But I was running because I had to get up here for 2 p.m.
because you were late. Yeah.
I had to get here for 2
the
p.m.
lunch.
So I've got it with me. I've got it with me, no problem.
Meanwhile, I don't know. That was just for you to segue to sports.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the Dodgers are playing right now. We probably should have gotten to this a long time ago. But anyway, because they're playing now. Why would you want to listen to Dave Roberts talk about something that happened yesterday? So
Well, it's kind of like a matter of,
a bigger picture
Yeah,
thing,
it's
I
all
guess.
boiling
All right.
over.
They've lost 4 in a row. They're not playing very well. What do you got from Dave Roberts yesterday?
Shoot, I don't think there's a team in baseball that's at full strength. So I just feel that with the guys that we have, we just got to play better. We got to pitch better. We got to defend better. We got to take more competitive at bats. And we're just not doing any of those things right now. So, yeah, you look back 4 or 5 days ago, things look more, positive. But this is a time for us to kind of look at ourselves and be better.
I mean, look, it's kind of the dog days of summer. You're right before the All-Star break. I get it. But there are some concerning things, is what I would say.
Have they changed? I mean, are the concerning things the things that have been concerning all year long?
I'm talking about more results-oriented stuff.
Okay, like what? Let me hear.
So last year, the Dodgers dealt with tons of injuries too, right? I mean, they had so many pitching injuries last year too.
That's right.
They were 82-35 in the regular season against teams over 500, a 70% win percentage.
Okay.
This year, 20-20.
Okay, so 500 against teams with 500 or better records.
Correct.
So when they play against winning teams,
they're average.
They're okay. They're
Whereas
500.
last year they were elite.
Okay, and what are they against losing teams? I mean, they obviously must be significantly better because they're above
because-
500.
Yes, right.
Okay, I mean, listen, I'll go with that. I get what you're saying.
It's not the same as last year is kind of my point.
But on the other hand, it kind of is in that here you are 80 some odd games into the season. You're about 82 games in thus far.
Yeah.
And you'll have 87 or 88 at the All-Star break. You're still 20 games better than 500. You still have a 6 or 6.5 game lead in the division.
Right.
And I'm just going to ask you guys a quick question. Do you guys think that anybody poses a threat, meaning San Francisco or San Diego poses a threat to the division?
But that's
I
not,
think they both do.
but that's not. Well, they may in the postseason is
Right.
the point.
Yeah.
Because if they don't catch them in the regular season, who cares? This team is the regular season. It matters. If it was bad, we'd care certainly. But we just kind of come to expect them to be good in the regular season. But I do think there is something to look at with these numbers against teams above 500. Where you're only 500 against them, 20-20, whereas last year you were awesome against the best teams.
What was the number last year?
82-35.
Okay, so just real quick, hold on one second. So 82-35 is 120 games or so. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
And now we're only at the halfway point, and we're only 40 games. They teams better than 500.
They played a lot of American League teams last year that were good. This year they're playing the White Sox, who are like terrible, and like that AL Central,
Rockies, they
the
play
AL
the Rockies
Central
a lot.
division. The Rockies are a complete unmitigated disaster. Like there's a lot of more under 500 teams than there were last season. So last season was a little different based on who their schedule was, particularly in interleague play. But my thing is this: in the playoffs, that's where you have to look at those numbers against the quality teams because that's who you're. There's no longer a Colorado Rockies that you're playing. You're not playing the Chicago White Sox anymore. You're playing Philly. You're playing the Mets. You're playing maybe the Padres or the Giants or whatever. Like you're Milwaukee, who's kicking your ass. Kicked your ass yesterday and beating you already today. Like those are the teams you're going to be facing. So that there is a level of concern. Actually, the Dodgers are winning.
Yeah, I wanted to just say point of information. Yeah. Dodgers up 1-0 off an Ohtani home run.
Right, but they are struggling to some extent against the better teams, and I think that is something to be monitoring as we get to the second half of the season and see how that potentially works itself out when they actually have to play a postseason series.
I like the word you just used, which is monitoring, because I will tell you that if you're a Padres fan or a Giants fan, for all intent and purposes, you don't even think about the division. It's not even a consideration.
Yeah, but Cap,
yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt, but I will.
That's all right.
Because
Go ahead.
Yamamoto, for example, he's their ace right now.
Terrible yesterday.
We can always all agree he's their ace, correct?
Yes, but he couldn't even make it out of the first inning yesterday.
Yeah, and he's been terrible against San Francisco and San Diego.
Right, he's been bad against good teams.
And he's only been really good against really bad teams.
He's feasting at least this season against the bad teams.
I actually don't know the numbers on this, but what has he done against San Francisco or San Diego?
Okay, over his last 2 starts, this is the last month. Like in San Francisco, he only pitched 4 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Okay, so that was a game against the Giants.
Right.
Okay.
San Diego, 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, a home run, and 5 strikeouts.
That doesn't sound like a terrible line to me. Did they win or lose the game, the Dodgers, in that game? Do you know?
I think they beat the Padres, but the Giants, I think they lost that one.
Look, I guess
I'm just saying, like, if it's different in the playoffs because
right, but hold on one second.
Bullpen, the whole bullpen situation is not great.
Well, what do you got? You guys expect a lot of these starting pitcher types to come back? Do you expect Tyler Glasnow? He's supposed to pitch tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you expect Blake Snell to come back?
No.
I guess I'm kind of like with you on that, Lindsay. Like I'm not real bullish.
I'll believe it when I see it.
On him, on Blake Snell. But you went out and you signed all these guys. Is Sasaki at any point
here are the
teams?
Here are the teams on base plus slugging or batting average, against Yamamoto. Milwaukee is hitting, yesterday, 571, all right? So he's got the one outing. The Yankees beat him up too, 389 batting average.
He only went like 3 innings.
The Giants, 316 against him. The Padres, 292. Like, those are some of the better teams you're going to face.
So I have a quick question. So is the whole Yamamoto, Cy Young, is that conversation not happening?
No.
Because remember at the beginning of the baseball season when he pitched, I want to say the first game of the year over in Japan, and and the article came out in the L.A. Times the next day. There's your Cy Young Award winner in game 1 of 162. So we're ending the Yamamoto for Cy Young.
He didn't even make the All-Star team.
Are you sure about that?
Oh wait, did he?
Yeah, I think he did.
My bad,
y'all.
My bad,
y'all.
So his strikeout to walk ratio against the good teams above 500 is only 2.5 to 1. That's not great.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
And
he's like their most quote unquote reliable starter. He's supposed to be their ace. It's not like he's just like the back end guy that's filling in. He's supposed to be their best pitcher.
Let me tell you who's the best pitcher is on the Dodgers.
I know who it is.
Who is it?
Shohei Ohtani.
Well, yes, for 2 innings it is Shohei Ohtani. You know who the best pitcher is right now for the Dodgers?
Who's that?
It's Clayton Kershaw.
Hey, you just don't jinx him. He's on the mound right now.
I know he is. I know, and he is. He is their best pitcher.
Yeah.
Then why did he make the All-Star team as a Legends pick? Like,
Because that's the only way he could.
Well, yeah, he only had like 5 or 6 starts. I think.
Probably his last year.
Yeah, I would think so.
We can only hope.
He's only had like I said, it's 5 or 6 starts. And when you go back and you look at Kershaw's starts this year, you'll see that it didn't get off to a good start. Then he got a little bit better. Then he extended and went a little bit longer. And he's just gotten better and better as the season has gone on. So, Kershaw is
what's
probably...
that tell you? If he's their best pitcher, you kind of have a problem, right?
Not really, because Kershaw has actually been good. Not like he's the best of the worst. He's actually been really good.
But not in the playoffs. He has a history of being terrible in the playoffs.
Recent history for the most part.
That is true, that there is a there's a belief that he doesn't perform in the postseason.
Well, it's not a belief. I mean, I would say that
there's stats that support that.
He has certainly had some rough outings. Now, early in his career, I would say it was not all his fault. I think some of it was some issues they had behind him, et cetera. But, later in his career, sure.
That's always one bad inning.
There was talk of him not even making the postseason roster at one point last year.
Yeah. Right, but he was also hurt for most of last year. He barely played, really, as I recall.
Okay.
So, look, Kershaw has come back and has been much better than probably people expected. Yamamoto, George, you're bringing up some interesting numbers. And yesterday's performance, I mean, to watch a guy who is supposed to be as decorated and, again, people were calling him the Cy Young Award winner after one game. To see him not be able to make it out of the first inning is probably alarming. Yeah. I would agree. You're going to get Glasnow back. How long? I'm not sure because the guy always seems to be hurt.
I mean, he was in OKC with me.
Was he there? Was he there watching?
He was
those
on my
games?
flight going back. Remember?
Not really.
I text that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Put it in your notes section.
I didn't have it in my calendar. Sorry, man. If you would have sent me an invite, I would have remembered that. Yeah.
You know what? I am so tired of you.
You are?
You expect to walk with me tomorrow morning? I don't know if I'm going to.
Like a dog.
Last week I walked by myself.
I heard.
4 miles. I don't need you.
All right.
Wow.
Coming up next, commercial-free 30 minutes.
We're going to get Mario in here?
Mario will be here at some point. We do have a couple of things. There's an interesting anniversary today in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's this Lakers 2027 plan that's kind of been flushed out at least a little bit, it sounds like. And maybe there could be some... It's a very risky plan, is what I would say. So we'll get into that. The Raiders, Pete Carroll, getting some love.
I love Pete Carroll. It's my guy.
And Jared Goff reminiscing.
Oh, is that the word you're going to use?
I'm going to use that.
You're reminiscing
to
is
be
the word
kind.
you're going to use?
To be kind.
Really?
Yeah.
What a guy you are.
About his time with the Rams.
That
we'll get to
little
that
tyke.
in a second.
By the way, don't miss your chance to press the flesh with us this Friday, July 11th, at the West Covina Sportsplex, 2100 South Azusa Avenue in West Covina. Be sure to bring your coolers and lawn chairs to get ready to root for your favorite 710 personalities during the 4th annual 710 All-Star Game, made possible by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet. See what all the fun is about at Rotolo Chevrolet. 30 minutes nonstop is next.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland tomorrow at noon after Travis and DeMarco.
Everyone on the Reddit page hates everyone except Mason.
Which is amazing that Mason somehow squeaked by.
But what is it about me that gets me off scot-free and all this?
You're their Darwin.
To me, I'm like the annoying one.
Well, yeah, and John is the really knowledgeable one.
He's the most knowledgeable. He wins every year at the Mandy's.
I know.
The OGs of LA Sports Talk.
Mason and Ireland on 710.
Hey, it's Mace. In tough times, a lot of people find themselves owing money to the IRS. It can really weigh you down, and you're confused about the right way to handle it. And all those scary ads on the radio about the IRS, they don't help. Tax relief advocates want you to relax, knowing that whether you owe $5,000, $50,000, $500,000 in tax debt, you don't have to fear the IRS another day. TRA has a proven 3-step tax resolution process, plus they're experts at working with special programs available from the IRS to help taxpayers get back on track. Easy to see why they have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. If you owe money to the IRS and feel trapped, don't lose hope. Tax relief advocates could reduce or even eliminate your debt. End your tax nightmare today. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-575-1482. That's 800-575-1482. Again, 800-575-1482.
Who needs a stadium? Morongo's got a 30-foot video wall, ice-cold brews, and a Wahlburgers 10 feet away from Sideline Sports Bar. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a portable electric lunchbox when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 15th.
Number 2.
Jazz Band and the Delphonics, August 9th.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away a Jeep Gladiator. Earn entries now playing table games and be here the 31st at 10 p.m. for your chance to win.
Morongo, good times.
USC football is more than a game. It's tradition, pride, and unforgettable Saturdays in the Coliseum. Be there for every kickoff, every touchdown, and every unforgettable moment this season. Secure your football season tickets today and lock in the best seats, exclusive fan benefits, and memories that last a lifetime. Don't miss out. We need you in the stands. Visit USCTrojans.com or call 213-740-GO-SC.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Come on, Walrus. See, Walrus got his own arrangement.
Sedano and Cap is on your Tuesday afternoon. Wow. Live Imaging Tuesday. That extra mouth sounds you hear is Walrus and Encino, who's in studio. Our Live Imaging Tuesday experience.
Really good, Walrus.
Walrus won the auction to spend all day with us, courtesy of Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Go ahead. What up,
Mongrels are my people, man.
No, they love you, Walrus. They love you. And the YouTube channel.
Can I ask what the winning bid was?
I think it was like $2,000, right?
No, you pumped it up to 1,500, homie.
Oh, 1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, homie.
And by the way, even part of the initial hospital, they left me out. And then guess what I did? I fought back from the dead. And I came back to life, and I 501. And I said, I want an auction item. And there was Walrus.
He came back from the dead.
But
exactly.
You know really all have to do when you do the next Mandy's?
Yes.
You need to have a live auction there in the space, and you need to be the auctioneer.
Do we auctioneer like a night?
That's a great idea, actually.
We do like a live auction with Cappy, like one night for the Cappy. Give me three, give me three.
I've got 300 over here, but I'm looking for 350. 350, but now I need 4. I've got 400, but now I'm looking for 5.
He's in one of Ted Lasso. That old lady can bid on you.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Have you ever been part of a...
Debbie can bid on you.
Oh, Debbie would be great. Debbie would take me to Long Beach. We'd go work on the docks together.
Throw you off the dock.
Right. Yeah. You'd never hear from me again because I was in a crate and I was headed towards China.
Being shipped somewhere else.
I defended you to Debbie yesterday.
What happened?
On Twitter.
What did she say today?
She said, like, oh, Walrus is so much better than Cappy. And no offense to you, Walrus. You've done
You're outstanding, Walrus.
Professional.
You're outstanding, Walrus.
You've done a great job today.
You
and
are
I said,
fantastic.
Debbie, for the last time, Cappy is the #1 endorser on the radio station. He's going nowhere. I promise you.
She's going to get more mad because she thinks he's cheap.
I know, and you know that when I was at the Dodger game about 2 weeks ago with the CHLA winners,
and you made it a point to do a video and made it a point to take out his credit card,
right,
and show everyone I'm paying,
right, and they turned around the iPad, and for 2 hot dogs, 2 waters, and a freaking like nachos, it was like $85, and then I gave a 25% tip, and I'm sitting there going, "See this, Debbie? The credit card is down. Look at this big fat tip for these people." And you know what happened to that video, George?
What?
Apparently, the microphone wasn't on.
Oh, but Deandre was there. He could vouch for you.
I was there. I vouched for you.
Yeah, yeah. And Deandre, you want to talk about a mensch. You want to talk about a classy
great kid.
Classy kid. You talk about raised right by his mom and dad.
Yeah.
You know that night, Deandre and I are at the game.
Yeah.
I pay the money for the concessions. Deandre zells me.
Oh, that's nice.
He zells me $20.
Stand up, gentlemen.
Right? He zells me $20. He goes, "Cap, that's not the way I was raised, man." He goes, "I'm here to contribute also." I go, "Deandre, don't worry about it, bro. The radio station is paying for it. It's all good, man."
Yeah.
So then I had to re-zell the brother.
Did you know how to zell?
Not really, right? Not really. I had to ask ChatGPT how to zell. Okay.
Cap, he probably felt bad because you made such a big deal about paying for the parking.
No, we didn't pay for parking.
But remember, but I'm saying before the game, you were really stressed. You were like, "I have to pay for parking."
No, it wasn't the paying for parking. It was the fact that Beto had the parking pass, and Beto was going to drive.
Right.
And
then he couldn't go.
Beto knows Dodger Stadium like the back of his hand. Well,
you were mad about the parking.
Obviously. Well, no, I was mad because I thought that somebody should have dealt with it. But nonetheless, I then did things my way.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Cappy way.
The Cappy way, which is talk your way into everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
George, can I make a quick little thing about the tipping?
Sure.
Chasen's, you familiar with the great old place Chasen's, right? I have a million stories about my grandfather. So he would say you would go and you get free bread, just delicious bread. And then they start charging you for it. And he would say to me, Why can't you just make everything else a little more expensive and then just give me my free bread? That's what needs to happen with these tips. It's like just add it to the cost so that you're not pressuring me to tip you. That's how they do in Europe.
But you know that some restaurants now, they have what's called a service fee.
Yeah.
Right.
Where if you're not even paying attention to the bill, you're
It's
like,
in
wait,
there,
what's
yeah.
this $7 service fee?
I feel like the toothpaste is out of the tube on tips in America. People aren't just going to stop tipping, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're expecting them to.
There is a thought in the YouTube chat with the Mongrels that instead of zelling DeAndre, I accidentally zelled Deandre Ayton. I actually zelled the other DeAndre that's rocking around in this
confirm
town.
that, DeAndre. Did you get?
We should have asked him.
Yeah, did I get you the zell? Did the zell come through?
Oh, you got it back.
Hey, I don't know how it worked, but it worked somehow.
Yeah. Speaking of DeAndre Ayton, his teammate may or may not be LeBron. I mean, we assume perhaps he seems to think so. I mean, I believe so still. But interesting today is the 15-year anniversary of what I think changed the NBA landscape forever. Less about LeBron and where he went or whatever, more about the player empowerment part of it, where he was the first guy, even though he wasn't the first guy to like leave in free agency, he was the first one to say, I'm going to do this my way. Now, it's funny because Kevin Durant actually took a very similar tack 6 years later, except without the TV show part of it, but very similar to what LeBron had done previously. It really did change the way players were able to kind of take control of their situations in that sport particularly, and I think eventually a little bit even in other sports.
Well, it is kind of hard to believe that today is 2025, July 8th, 2025, and 15 years ago, a very different-looking LeBron, nice-looking hairdo, you know, a tighter
He was
beard.
25. He was 25.
He didn't look that much different.
Oh, no, he looked different.
No, he looked
he looked a lot different.
He's smaller.
Did you
Small
see
beard.
that?
Look at this picture.
The
Did you
beard
see
isn't
the
thick.
picture of him the other day that he took with his workout with his abs? He's still got an 8-pack.
Yeah, he does. Today
It's
he's got
amazing how
that,
that.
a nice shirt,
that
too.
happens at 41. Just amazing how that happens.
that full bushy beard that he rocks now with the grays in there. You know, back then, little kid, tightly shaved, nice big head of hair, and he sat there with Jim Gray.
Your boy.
Jim Gray said, "LeBron, what is your decision?"
No, he actually asked about biting his nails first.
Right, but I
The
don't
questions
remember that
beforehand
part.
were pretty
Are
silly.
you still a nail biter?
Oh, really? And then he said, "So what's your decision?" And then LeBron
I'll
told
just
everybody,
play it.
Said
The
this.
answer to the question everybody wants to know.
Yeah, it's better to do
LeBron,
it this way.
what's your decision?
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
So
it was a very weird answer, by the way.
Very
10 million
60
whole
minutes
thing was
Yeah,
leading
right.
the witness.
By
Right,
the way,
exactly.
10 million people tuned in to watch this on ESPN that night. And, I mean, that's an incredible number when you think about it, that it's not an actual sporting event that people were tuning into. And the fascinating part of that is when he said, oh, this is tough, I knew Cleveland was screwed immediately when he said that.
Of course.
I thought maybe it was going to be the Knicks because he was already in Connecticut. But I felt for Cleveland, then like 4 of Lindsay's fellow Ohioans burned some jerseys. And
Okay, well,
it was a
hold
rough
on.
night.
So